it will be a Briton mirror. Britons a civ that are definitely being picked quite a lot this tournament.
All right, so we started off here, guys. In the blue, we have TaToH. And in the red, we have Villese. This is game number 1 in a best of 5. Just like we said earlier, Villese needs a victory today in this best of 5 to have a chance to move on to the final stages. Now, we'll get caught up to speed here. It's a Britons mirror matchup. When is the last time you saw that in a tournament, OrnLu?
A decent while ago, for sure. It's kind of interesting because Britons were always one of those civs that were like, okay, yeah, they're definitely a strong Arabia civ, especially the micro-intensive players like them a lot, but we've seen them quite a lot here on a variety of Arabia-like maps, and now even to the point where it's a mirror, and usually Britons aren't usually talked about in that top echelon of Arabia civs. Yeah,
I think this has... Okay, so Britons have always been a solid civilization. They've never been a civilization which was like, wow, great in 1v1 Arabia since the new expansions. But I think that right now ranged units seem to be a little bit stronger than they have been for a while. Has a lot to do with how the melee units engage on DE. And so the players
don't engage.
Yeah. And so players have adapted a little bit. They're going back towards the ranged units. And in a mirror matchup, I think it's all about who gets Castle H faster and who has that Castle H momentum, because that's where all the Briton strengths come into play. You have the additional range, you have the cheap TCs, it changes a lot.
Yeah, Britons are one of the best Castle H civs in the game, as you were saying. All of their bonuses coming into effect right there. And especially against other Briton players, you're both going to be working with a ton of ranged units. If you just get that huge range advantage, you can just force every single fight and feel pretty good about it. But let's take a look at their maps right here. I'm looking at TaToH's map, and it is looking pretty open in the front with a couple forward golds, although it does have one that's still pretty open and far in the back.
Yeah, and what makes a good map is normally the wood lines. You can have golds like this in TaToH's position, but if you have a wood line here, you can wall, but there's really no potential for TaToH to wall that easily. I think that's going to worry him. He does have this gold more to the north, but again, that's not something he can wall in easily. So you're looking over at Villese's base. I mean, this is incredible, man. This is a dream of a map. Easy wall off between the wood lines. Easy wall off here. He's already working on it with the houses. Nice thinking. I mean, he's going to be in a much safer position. So I don't think TaToH's going to go for any strategy like a Drush Fast Castle. I would expect maybe Man-at-Arms and Towers, or sorry, not Man-at-Arms and Towers, Man-at-Arms into Archers, Man-at-Arms into Skirms, a very fast feudal, whereas Villese, he might consider something more passive.
I mean, I think a Drush Fast Castle would be completely viable on the map of Villese. It's like he's playing mini BF over here. This wood line is so massive in the south.
I didn't know Viper was playing today, to be honest.
Well, I mean, Viper, comes in many forms. You never are truly sure if he's playing or not.
Yeah.
But indeed, we even see Villese going to be luring some of these deer. That is going to be helping quite a bit when it comes to a potential Drush Fast Castle strategy. And then, as you were saying, like main gold way in the back, same with the secondary gold, and you can just kind of wall on the side with the stone. Going to be a pretty insane map for him, so I think it's going to be a matter of TaToH being the aggressor and Villese being the defender.
Yeah, what I love about TaToH's play is he normally is able to judge what he's going to do regardless of the map really early. Very rarely will you see TaToH to be the last one to scout, and he's sending his scout out now. He's flat out in the middle of the map. He doesn't have the edge of the map to wall to. I really wonder if he's going to go for a build that I like where you go for Drush into fast feudal. So you make a few militia, and then you use that Briton sheep bonus, bring in that food quickly, and get the feudal agent. And what that does is you get the militia out earlier. You can potentially engage with your opponent's militia before they're expecting it, before their economy is fully walled, and then you fast track your way to archers. I feel like that might be the play for TaToH. We'll see, though. It depends on how quickly he gets his food in after the militia.
Yeah, TaToH coming forward here with a fairly early barracks, but not a Drush barracks. I think this is very much screaming, I would like to go for some kind of men-at-arm play. We even have the villager going over to...
Yeah, 2 to gold.
Yeah, 2 to gold right now. That about... above all else screams, I would like to go for men-at-arms.
Okay.
We do have the Drush coming in here for Villese, so we are right on the money as to what these guys are wanting to do already. And it looks like TaToH might be clicking up even on 21 pop, which would be quite aggressive. Oh no, he's getting low, my bad.
Yeah, 22 pop, no worse. And Villese is going to take advantage of his map. He's going for what TaToH would have loved to go for if he had a better map. The Drush. And we saw it from Hera yesterday against TaToH, actually. TaToH was Mayans. I would say TaToH probably had the worst map there, too, and TaToH went aggressive. TaToH sees the walls. There will be no surprises here. He's definitely expecting there to be these 3 militia going forward. And excuse me, and the Drush. A good thing for TaToH, he's getting his scout out here. I think that's a small misplay from Villese. Sorry, just catching up to speed here, guys. But that, in my opinion, is something that Villese could have done. He could have walled in that scout and maybe killed it. Instead, TaToH will have his scout in the fight, and he'll be in feudal age with that extra speed and attack. Yep, and here come the villagers. TaToH knows he has to push Villese, but Villese is getting some really good hits.
Yeah, Villese is coming in very quickly here with these militia, the barracks. You know, the militia, third militia here for TaToH is just a little bit on the later side of things. Villagers coming forward though, but the problem here for TaToH is that, well, Villese sees this instantly, so he can start to formulate some kind of defensive plan. And I still though think this is the best option for TaToH. Actually, looks like the militia might be running past each other.
Yeah, can we go to TaToH's point of view real quick? I'm curious to see what TaToH sees, what he's thinking throughout this. So he sees the barracks, he's obviously seen the militia, he's walling in his villagers, so he is safe. But he doesn't know much about those golds, does he? He doesn't know where the golds are. He sees double palisade from Villese, and he's going to likely tower, and he does, but it's going to take a while for TaToH to break through.
Yeah, definitely. So back here with the worldview, and I'm not the biggest fan of the angle in which TaToH is pushing right now. I think it would have been better if he went in the direction of where the stones are, because you can see to the north of Villese's base, both of those stones are there, and if you can take control of those, well, then your opponent will only be able to make one tower without being able to, you know, buy at the market. Whereas this area is a bit more constricted, and we can imagine Villese should have a bit of an easier time walling up behind it.
This would be sloppy for Villese to lose the villager. Okay, he does not lose the villager.
Calculated.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that if you push from that location, then Villese cannot comfortably take stone and build more than one defensive tower, which he'll want to do. Villese only 45% of the way to feudal age, so he does not have the resources yet to do that. But
and the thing
I'm going to agree with you there.
TaToH knows that the stones are to the north of Villese's base. He's scouted that. And even then you see him rotating to the south, which is like an even worse position to attack because it's, you know, that much less area you need to wall and worry about. So that's kind of weird. Villese is getting a little bit housed, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Already going over onto stone. And I would even say that with the faster working ranges, if TaToH doesn't do something very aggressive here, some quick archers can come out and really put a stop to this towering.
Well, keep in mind that yes, Villese is a very safe base, but this is only going to last for so long. His economy's not that great. He's only 600 food, 200 gold. He will need 200 more food to go up to the next stage. He did not have a house. The pressure for TaToH is paying off, and it's stressing Villese out a little bit. So the whole idea of going fast castle as Villese now gets town watch, I think just to make sure he's not being towered in the north. But the whole idea of this strategy is to go castle age quickly. If Villese doesn't have the resources to do that, then good luck.
Yeah, sorry, T90, but there is a forward archery range here from Villese.
Whoa!
But that is not the play I expected. He still has these 3 militia and a scout alive. Remember, they never actually had that big engagement.
TaToH could get through to the woodline, Villese. Oh, nice quick wall from Villese with the houses. But it's not pretty. My point is, it's not pretty. Villese could actually lose a villager to TaToH's scout. I mean,
and
that villager does go down. I mean, Villese, he might have had a dream of a map, but he has not had a dream of a start. TaToH's pressure is definitely paying off, in my opinion, for now.
Ooh, TaToH even getting 2 pokes off with his spearman. Scout Cavalry goes from full HP down to 3, so that's going to be a lot less useful when it comes to picking off stray villagers or archers or what have you.
Oh my god, these vills are weak.
And the blacksmith has been denied.
Oh, 1 vill down, 2. Oh man, the villagers wanted to keep building. They obeyed their master, but that's sloppy, man. That's sloppy. This is looking better for TaToH. I'm still really curious, though, to see what happens if Villese can well, finish this blacksmith, get fletching, and send a few archers towards the berries. Nice little sneak. I like that. It's like something my buddy Huang would do.
Oh, yeah, most certainly. Even the second archery range here, so Villese really wants to get in the face of TaToH. And, you know, to be fair, TaToH is very, very exposed on his side of the map. The gold miners are very exposed, the lumberjacks are very exposed, so are these foragers as long as they're still foraging. Yeah,
and I feel like TaToH, at this point, he hasn't built a range, right? He's not prepping any skirms. He expects Villese to be fighting from home. TaToH could be in big, big trouble after Villese gets fletching. Now, it's important that Villese waits. I think 5 archers minimum with fletching. You could even wait for more. That would be the number. Then again, TaToH will probably leave the berries soon. So get there, get some damage in Villese, and catch up with the villager count, because currently Villese is 3 villagers behind.
Yeah, but I would have to imagine that these archers are going to be getting something done here.
Oh my goodness, TaToH reacts perfectly. That's what Town Watch will do for you. But now he's going to need defensive towers all over his base.
Indeed he will. There is one going up on the stone right away, and that is sort of the direction in which Villese is heading. Trying to even get some quick walls maybe at the front. TaToH with some very nice reaction times right here. But the archers still can possibly camp under the tower, but those are some really nice quick house walls. Tower does finish, and that scout not even able to get the villager kill, and Villese is forced to retreat.
Yeah, I think it would be a mistake to sit under the tower. TaToH would probably micro with villagers, but this is what archers can do, and it's not going to end here. There will be more units, and so what I said at the start of this game, fast-tracking your way to archers, that's the key. TaToH expected Villese to go fast castle, so he applied all the pressure he could. Villese, he changed his game plan. He knew his economy would be too weak if he tried to go immediately to Castle Age. He's taken this into Feudal Age, and it's working really well for him.
Yes, he's causing a lot of very messy economy here for TaToH. Like 22 villagers who are not loving life right now. More archers coming in from the left-hand side. TaToH forced to go with some quick walls. Yes, he will get those established, but again, this just makes his economy that much more of a mess. And what is like the most important resource for Britain that's at this stage in the game? Wood. And that's exactly the thing that is that's not looking so hot for him.
He doesn't have an archer range. He doesn't have skirmishers. His towers, they don't even have fletching. He doesn't have the stone for another tower. Or now he does. He can maybe tower the wood line, but the archers are there. I mean, this is close to GG territory. I don't see how TaToH changes his position. Look at this tower. He's building this tower with a dozen villagers. That is not a good sign at all for TaToH.
I mean, I think it's the correct play given the situation, but it's, it's certainly not one you're going to feel good about.
Yeah.
And some more villagers going to be focused down. Nice job of Villese picking off the low HP villagers, when of course the tower will be established eventually. But with this play, Villese is actually still behind by 2 villagers.
Yeah, but the efficiency of it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Half of TaToH's economy is not where they should be. They're all bumping into each other in this wood line. It's very rare you see a player with this many lumberjacks have it split up like this, and it's only because of that aggression from Villese. And what a play with the sneak archers, man. If he wouldn't have done that, if he would have played with archers from home, TaToH would have had the time to build defensive towers. He would have seen that. He would have sensed it, but that was a sick, sick play.
Yeah, indeed. Right now we have Villese with 20 food workers to 6.
Yeah.
So, despite all of the mess that this game has shown early on, Villese is almost certainly going to be getting a faster Castle Age time. 14 military to 2 as well. Finally, actually just a blacksmith from TaToH. So he's actually going all the way to the middle of the map to find some wood to chop.
Yeah, he did get another lumber camp here on the left. You know, it's defensive tower or death for TaToH now. And I said earlier I wouldn't sit underneath the tower. Here you have to if you're Villese. This is a good time for it. TaToH has yet to show skirms, and yes, TaToH will probably kill a few archers, maybe save all the villagers, but now he can't take stone, which means only one more tower with his 126 stone. It'll be so easy for Villese to pick a spot.
And he can't take gold right now, too.
Yeah.
Oh, Villese also smartly putting one archer behind the wood line of TaToH to the north.
Yeah, that's so good.
Oh, yeah. I think I remember Max talking about it earlier in the room, so I guess it's something that these Finnish guys really do consider, which is very much good. TaToH just now getting his first archery range as Villese is creeping closer and closer to Castle Age.
Look at this economy for Villese. It's untouched, has to be said. Wouldn't be possible without the map differences, but Villese will be clicking up soon. TaToH actually looking to tower the ranges. It's desperation mode for TaToH. He knows he's probably lost this game, so he wants to try something different. He might snipe that villager.
Villager's getting a little bit low. Archer's a little bit inaccurate.
Things. There we go, yeah.
It's hard to select things sometimes. So yes, TaToH will be able to get this tower established, but how much is it realistically going to do? Well, it's going to kill those 2 archers, which is quite nice. Ooh, even a forward tower here from Villese.
But yeah, if that tower goes up, it's hitting the wood line again.
Yeah.
And Villese is already on the way to castle. TaToH. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. No way. Doink! Oh! Saved!
Oh, that man-at-arm like had to throw his sword to get the last kill, but oh man,
that was funny.
That was pretty cute.
I mean, TaToH not only needs to clean up the archers in his base, he's beginning to wall the ranges, which is nice, but he also needs to somehow get castle, and he's so far away from it now. I feel like Villese is going to add stables, and you see it there.
Did the getting +1 defense for cavalry tip you off?
I actually didn't see that, but now I do. But no, I mean, it's just the perfect move now. TaToH will defend with only feudal age skirmishers. No need to continue to make archers, just make knights, and TaToH also has plenty of weak villagers around. And I imagine that tower is going to be finished as well. It's halfway up. more villagers will probably come forward.
Yeah, and in general, I think that going for the knights in early Castle Age when you have a lot of towers from both players is almost always going to be the best option, just because knights don't really care too much about, especially watchtowers, as they have the HP, speed, and pierce armor to kill villagers anyway, whereas potentially even Briton crossbowmen might be a little bit, you know, boxed out by the watchtowers. And yeah, obviously, as you were saying, the skirmishers, their wet noodles are not going to be taking down an armored knight.
Yeah, I think we might even see a scout from Villese. Just one scout to clear out the skirms so he doesn't lose any more archers. But yeah, he's on the move. It's not necessary either way. This villager will run to finish that tower. I'd be very surprised if TaToH doesn't tap out upon seeing that Villese is in Castle Age, because he's nowhere close to clicking up.
And not only is Villese Castle Age, but he has a ton of resources. Bowsaw, +2 defense, 2 knights all queued up simultaneously.
Yep.
Britons have the cheap town center, so you can even boom behind this if you're feeling like it, if you're Villese.
Take out the towers. There's so many options.
Villager getting a little bit pushed away by some skirmishers, but she can even build a forward siege workshop, which would be super good. Anything to just knock TaToH completely out of this game right now.
So I said at the start, I think Villese is a player who tends to play safe, and the AoE gods blessed him with the safe map, and he took advantage of it, and he's played it perfectly ever since then. Here's a little bit, I guess here it's a little bit sloppy, but as expected, the knights come forward. What does TaToH do against this? You can't make spearmen. Spearmen aren't going to work. First off, the knights have enough upgrades to deal with spears, but then there's still archers around. So with the way that Villese is playing this, I don't see this being comfortable for TaToH at all. He has to abuse the market.
Yeah, it's
GG.
Like, TaToH wasn't even clicked up to Castle Age, I believe, so... Eventually, you just can't deal with that. TaToH's map way too open. His aggression not really coming, I think, at the right angle. Imagine if that initial trush had rotated to the north instead of to the south. Then I think you would have had potentially a bit of a different game.
Adjust my mouse sensitivity.
Okay. Okay, I'll look at the achievements here. You can see that, obviously, despite TaToH killing the most units, it's about the economies. That's around 1,000 less food and around 1,500 less gold. That is a lot of Castle Age time and so much wood being denied. It really wasn't the greatest. You can see Villese almost double the researches. And yeah, despite TaToH, it was just about that idle time, and Villese doing a really, really nice job sneaking that those 2 archery ranges forward and just bringing it to TaToH, abusing the fact that his map was closed and his opponent's was open.
All right, so that means we're going to TaToH's home map. So we're going to have some fun with islands next.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so TaToH has gone Italians virtually every time. You think Villese goes Vikings? You think it switches it up and goes for Japanese, which is probably like the 3rd option?
Yeah, I always feel like Vikings are very distinct in their game plan, their strengths, their weaknesses, and their play style. But I feel like Italians and Japanese are more or less interchangeable. It's just which one do you feel like playing. So, Italians we already see here from Villese. So I might even be seeing an Italian mirror. Actually, no, TaToH's going for the Vikings.
Ooh. I mean, everyone expects him to go for Italians, so... He's selecting Vikings. Interesting. Did we see what Villese is going for? Villese is going. Ooh, all right. Interesting stuff. So game 2 will be coming up, folks. TaToH definitely needs to respond after that first game. I think it's safe to say that that was as close as it gets to a map win, as you will see.
You didn't see one of the RF games earlier when one guy had 2 neutral golds and a neutral stone in his bed?
Oh, wait, yeah. No, I was going to say Viper also had a pretty good map in that Regicide Fortress game. But anyways, for Arabia, that was really good for Villese and really bad for TaToH. And here we are, game number 2. TaToH looking for a response on his favorite islands. And here he is. He's gone for the Vikings this time. And here we have Villese. Villese has gone for Italian. So what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think Vikings versus Italians? Like, what are the differences between the civilizations? I guess the minor differences. There's a lot.
Well, the most important differences here, as far as this goes, is that Italians are very flexible in what they can do.
Yeah.
You can use your quicker uptime, or cheaper uptime, rather, cheaper fishing ships, cheaper dock techs to get some really nice timings. You can go for a bit of a fish boom, fast castle. You can go for early aggression with 3 docks and some fire galleys. Whereas Vikings are it's a bit more straightforward in what you want to do. You want to survive the early game and then get to longboats and then kill your opponent with said longboats. Seeing TaToH's POV right here. Now seeing Age of Cubes right here. Woo!
Gotta love it.
Gotta love it.
Man, it just catches me off guard every time. It's so different. Man, it's so different. But these Finnish players, they don't care about how the game looks. They care about victories. They care about results.
Oh,
all right?
yeah.
And Villese got his victory in game number 1. And he'll be going for one here. I really think that Villese with Italians has a lot that he can do. I'm surprised that TaToH went Vikings instead.
Yeah, and also worth noting is that Villese in several earlier series did pick islands as a home map, so it's not something like he's uncomfortable with it. Do you think that it would be better in this case for our Viking player to go for, or sorry, our Italian player, there we go, to go for like the back dock and more defensive strategy, or a more aggressive one with forward docks and fire galleys?
I think the back dock was probably something that TaToH really liked to do, like the back dock and transport. I don't know if that's meta. I've certainly seen it a lot, but I don't know if that's meta. I feel like a front dock with Italians is still fine, but as I say that, we'll bring up the scores here. Villese is sending a villager to the north to dock, to house, and then probably to dock, so I'm thinking he might go that route. But the crazy thing about Italians, you can distract your opponent, you can go for the landing, and then right when they think that all they have to focus on is that landing, then the Italians can come back on water. They'll get the castle age faster because their uptime's cheaper. I mean, it's so flexible when you're playing with this Civ.
Yeah, definitely. And it's one of the reasons that they've been such a mainstay in the water meta for a very long time now. And I'm just looking at the island of TaToH, and I see both stones on the left-hand side, near a gold as well. Even the forage bushes in the general vicinity, and this could be very, very rough if Villese decides to go for a landing, because that's even the area in which you would naturally want to land anyway.
Well, TaToH is not docked yet, and he's going to in the south, so we expected the Viking player to dock forward and go for fast feudal galleys, but maybe TaToH is expecting the back dock from his opponent, so he's going to flip the script and do the same. Now, Vikings do have the potential to go fast castle. They can maybe go fast castle longboats.
That's like the dream.
I'm excited to see this. Yeah, exactly. I think that longboats is the preferred unit. So longboats can be seen as the reason you don't see longboats or fast castle longboats frequently is because you leave yourself open in feudal age, because someone going aggressive in feudal age is going to hurt you. But TaToH is not expecting that, is he?
No, he's not.
It's interesting.
This has actually reminded me a lot of the Viper versus Liereyy series we saw a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Where Liereyy was the Vikings. He went for the back dock and tried to get, at least a relatively quick castle age behind some galleys, whereas Viper went for a much faster feudal age, put some pressure on with the fire galleys, and then also got a castle age time that was like at most a minute slower and was able to keep it up.
So I didn't see that game. In that game, did Viper go fast feudal fires then?
Yes.
Okay, so I think TaToH was almost expecting Villese not to do that. He was expecting Villese to go back dock and late feudal, and so this situation will be a bit different.
Viper went back dock in that game too.
Oh, he did? Okay, interesting. Well, we'll have to see what the feudal age times are then.
Yeah,
that's the most important thing.
That's going to be definitely a likely point of divergence. Both players going up to at least 4 fishing ships.
Yeah.
Usually you see that especially with Vikings and Italians. And it's all going to come down to, I think, the strategy here of Villese. The ball is in his court, essentially. TaToH, Vikings, they know what they want to do, and it's just a matter of can they do it. Italians have a lot more ways to play this out.
Well, seeing as the feudal age cost is something like 430 food, it's something close to that.
It's 420, I believe.
420. All right. Is it really 420?
It's either 420 or 425, I forget.
Blaze it, man. All right, so anyways, seeing as it's so cheap for Italians, Villese would have been up already if he was going fast feudal. So this is definitely more of a fast castle play for him, which makes me think TaToH he predicted Villese's strategy. He predicted that Villese would do this. Not saying that Italians can't do well here, but this might mean TaToH gets to his longboats at the time that he would need.
I see fishing ship number 6 from both players.
Yeah.
So, actually, it's only 5 for TaToH because his dock was later. But still, number 6 here for Villese. This, to me, says he also wants to go for a fast castle opening.
Yeah, both, for sure.
And I do know that the number for Italian castle age is 680 food and 130 gold. So
all right.
That's a pretty nice save. And if you can get to fast castle with Italians, like I say all the time, those cheaper dock techs give you some really, really nice timings because you can get the cheap gill nets, war galley, and careening all very quickly.
They couldn't have gone 420, 690? Come on.
Come on.
How did I not realize how close it was, man? But you're right. I mean, normally it's pretty expensive to get the war galley upgrade. and then go fires. It's not that expensive for Italians because their dock techs are cheap. Also, the fishing ships have been cheaper all throughout Dark Age. So we're seeing both, well, pretty much all Italian bonuses right now. It's all about longboats for Vikings. It's all about the resources for each player. We see the resources of TaToH here. He has to research Castle Age with a cost of 800 food and 200 gold. And then Villese, wow, 629 food already. He will have more than enough resources. This is like fast imp territory. Not that he would ever do that on a water map.
No, that's a little too insane.
Yeah.
But I think that this is actually a really good strategy from Villese, considering if TaToH's trying to go for his own fast castle, it might be possible here for Villese to be doing the same thing, but faster and with a slightly stronger eco, because we're seeing the 6 fishing ships from him. TaToH does only have the 5, I believe, and we should be seeing some very comparative castle times. Ooh!
Transport ship. Interesting. So transport ship from the back should be coming, right? Did I not see? Oh, he canceled it. He canceled it for the dock.
Interesting, because now we're going with the double forward dock after the initial back dock, so there's something aggressive that our red player is going to be wanting to do. Maybe because he's noticing the feudal age time of his opponent, but it's still blacksmith market. Like, there's no way he's not going for a fast castle.
Yeah.
TaToH almost certainly going to be seeing the same thing. Already has the resources, just needs that market and blacksmith. So I think it's really going to be just skipping the feudal age and a lot of early castle age aggression.
Yeah, TaToH will be faster to castle age. Villese is floating more resources, but TaToH's build order was definitely more optimized. 2 lumber camps. Yeah, this is good eco-wise for TaToH, and you'll probably see more docks for him now. Now he's also making a galley or 2, which is a surprise to me. I thought that he would just wait, but he's probably not going to go all in there. And does he have more? I don't have any hotkeys here on this computer, so is it just 1 dock for him?
Yep, it's only 1 dock as
He'll
far as
probably add a second one soon, right?
Yeah, I also like that he is checking the left side of his island with his scout for potential landings. That is, in this case, not going to be a thing. Looks like we're going to be seeing TaToH's POV right now, just coming in forward with a couple galleys. I think this is smart, just so you don't, die instantly to some fire galleys. So even if you don't even upgrade to war galley, I think we saw Yo do that in the last series. But I think it's just a safe play.
Yeah, this is nice. TaToH's actually just scouting with that galley, and he's timed it so he's going to have a few docks up by the time he's in Castle Age. It's a bit risky because Villese shows up with the galley there, and while TaToH has Loom, he's got to get safer docks up, and now that's going to delay him there. Villese doing the same thing and docking on the front, very nice. TaToH needs those docks up when he's in Castle Age, otherwise he'll fall behind in production.
Yeah, this is actually, I think, a really big problem here for TaToH because, well, Villese is actually going for the galley play. He has fletching already. I think TaToH does as well. Yes, he does. But the production is vastly in favor here of our red player.
Wow.
And it's not common, I think, to see not Vikings go for the galleys. Like, you usually expect the fire galleys, but in this situation, the galleys are just the absolute perfect play. We see docks 2 and 3 coming in the far, far south for TaToH, but that's not super great.
Wow, that's so interesting. So fire ships, when you get the mass of them, the longboats, when you get the mass of them, can be very good against the fire ships. And Villese said, no, I'm just going to beat you to range. I'm going to mass my own ranged units. I've not seen this yet. War Galley's on the way, Bod Canera will be on the way, and TaToH's docks were also delayed, so it'll take him some time now, but do not underestimate those longboats. They'll be coming out of these back docks for sure. Yeah,
the longboats are just so strong. They produce faster, they move faster, you can bunch them up. We saw that a lot in the last game, or the last series with this matchup, and well, it's going to be a matter of can you potentially get the longboat number or keep the longboat numbers low.
Yeah.
Because if Italians can get a faster Imperial Age time and then use those cheap dock techs again to get a really nice timing, then you can really crush Vikings that way. But if you just let the Vikings chill and do what they want, there's almost no way you can take good fights in Imperial Age.
I think this is a perfect start for Villese. So what he's done here is he's accepted that he's delayed TaToH's numbers, and he's going to start committing to a bit of a boom. So he has the second TC on the way. So you can't underestimate Viking economy, but you'll see TaToH, as he builds a university and not a town center, he's focusing on getting back control of water, or getting control of water. I'm not sure Villese has really had full control of it. But I like the decision because the Italians, again, it's so cheap for them to go imp. You probably should lean towards your eco. And if you get a good lead with the military, that's everything you would ever want against Vikings.
Yeah, definitely. The thing is, though, that well, TaToH's going to have the quick ballistics, and the longboats can micro down the war galleys because they do move faster, and they can shoot and scoot a little bit more easily. So it's going to be a matter of can you hold off if you're Villese, but like we were saying, he had the extra docks more quickly, so he has the numbers advantage right now. So I think he'll be at least okay for a little while right now, but it's all going to come down to this longboat micro.
Yeah, 6 versus 7 here. No, 6 versus 6, sorry. And TaToH's ballistics will complete. Look at the micro from TaToH. Love the little splits he's gone for. Once ballistics is in for him, he's not going to be missing these shots. And as we said, Villese just needs to defend. He cannot lose water. He needs to get his numbers up. Did he add eco too early, or was it a proper time for him? So far, the fights have been pretty close. TaToH's micro, though, very nice. Look at that. Ballistics will pay off now. And Villese needs to snipe those weak ones. There's 2 weak ones in there. There we go. We got 1. Now, the players, I'm actually going to go to Villese's point of view. They're going to try and target the weak ones. This is Villese. You can see the blocks. You can see the farms he's building now. But he'll probably click TaToH's units. I wanted to see if he does this for the viewers at home. Or not. TaToH, why would you retreat on me, man?
Okay, no, I think what's important here, though, is that even if we're at all things being relatively similar, that's good for Villese, because the status quo favors him significantly. He's 7 villagers ahead.
Exactly.
And he is going to be able to maintain, at least for now, the larger ship numbers. Like I was saying, the longboats do produce faster, which is really nice for them. But again, Villese now getting ballistics, that's obviously going to be another way you can even up this fight. But here we go, another longboat v war galley battle.
Yeah, and a good pickoff from Villese. Very well done. I found that weak one. Now, the longboats stack incredibly, so it's really hard to judge them sometimes. But I think only 7 for TaToH. We have 9 for Villese. Villese went for the eco first. Is not a bad situation for him at all, but quite simply, TaToH's slightly behind in eco, and Villese is slightly behind in military upgrades, at least, and I would say strength, because, well, longboats.
Yeah, you can see that despite taking, I guess, a slightly better trades, you can see TaToH's climbing rapidly ahead in the warship count. Again, I can't stress that faster creation speed and faster movement speed as far as reinforcements go. Both of those are going to be so incredibly powerful for the longboat. Turns out that the unit isn't awful. Who would have thought?
Wait. They're not trash? Hera told me they were trash.
Yeah. Well, apparently Liereyy told Hera that they were trash, and then Hera told us that. Okay.
Ah, I see. Yeah. All right. Okay. Makes a little bit more sense now.
Easy. But, like, look at this. TaToH has the better army, but he's still not making any headway, and the economic difference is only climbing.
There's a lot of weak ones in there. TaToH's micro's been good, but he's got to be careful. These numbers can deceive him because he has quite a few weak longboats in this group. Now, after this fight, it's still 7v6. TaToH will lose 1 more at least. Villese will focus down that one as well. Look how Villese is focusing down the weak units. He's also been using a few galleys to take out the gold villagers. It's 57 eco for Villese and 45 for TaToH. If Villese wins this best of 5, he has a chance to move on to the final stages, and he's playing like it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think he does move on if he wins.
He does, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think it's just straight up he moves on.
And then if TaToH loses, there's still potential he moves on, but there's no guarantee. Yeah.
Exactly. It's out of his control at that point. So, still, though, TaToH has the better military. He's taking these better engagements. He's pushing Villese further backwards towards his docks and his fishing ships. But still, with the closer reinforcements, Villese able to at least push TaToH back for the meanwhile. TaToH still hasn't gotten that dock up at the front.
This game is so sick. Sometimes when I'm casting, I just get mini chills. And I just got it, man. This is so good. Like, one person went for faster eco, one person went for faster military. Villese is holding. The KD is close. But man, I'm just expecting a faster Imperial for Villese, being Italians. He's starting to get his eco up and running big time at home. TaToH needs to push back, and he's been trying to, but it hasn't been convincing yet. Yeah,
so Villese with a little bit... actually, they have around the same resources as far as Imperial Age goes. You do, of course, have to remember the Vikings have a pretty sick eco themselves. But yeah, the fight's still going back and forth. Yeah, again, it's slightly favoring TaToH, but I don't think it's going to be favoring him enough so that it overcomes the defender's advantage here for Villese.
How important was it that Villese docked here? If he would have docked further away, I think it would have really hurt him early feudal. He applied the pressure early, and he's been able to keep the reinforcements up. This has been huge. And I think that might be some of TaToH's issue. He's back docked, but it takes him so long to reinforce, whereas Villese is closer to his dock, so he doesn't have the creation speed. but the reinforcements are helping.
Yeah, I mean, I think if TaToH was going for normal war galleys, then the reinforcements would be even slower.
Yeah.
But obviously, the longboats are the unit of choice here. Another battle is going to be happening. Numbers now, I think, pretty significantly favoring Mr. TaToH.
Yeah, this is good, and he's next to those docks. He's finally pushed out across 9 versus 7, so he has the lead. He's going to suffocate Villese. This is dangerous for a Finnish player. This is what he wanted to avoid, and he's done a good job of avoiding. But now TaToH will have the lead.
But will it be too little too late? Because looking at Villese's resources, with the cheaper age up, he's just a little food short of clicking to Imperial Age right now. I guess he might need another building, possibly. No, he doesn't. He already has the monastery. TaToH, meanwhile, pretty far away. Yeah. So I think at this point, if you can manage to get some docks up somewhere, then you can really punish with a fast imp timing.
Yeah, so TaToH needs to expect that he's going to be later, and there's a couple things that you can do in TaToH's position. First off, take care of the fishing ships. He's doing that. Another thing is take out docks. He's going to work on that. But the key here, I think, is that he goes to stone, which he's done. And when the inevitable push from Villese comes in, castle the shoreline so Villese cannot dominate you. Do you think Villese should switch to fires, or do you think he should stay for galleons in the Imperial Age?
I think you want to start with fires and then switch into galleons. I mean, the dock upgrades are so cheap as Italians that you can get fast fire ship right away. And the thing with the fire ships is that they're better in low numbers, and Villese doesn't really have much of a ball of war galleys left, as TaToH has decisively won the water at this point. But like, something I love with Italians is that half-cost ship, right? You can see even careening coming in right now.
I think Villese has made a mistake trying to produce out of his forward docks like this. Like, what he needs is a mass and imp. It probably would have been smarter for him to side dock. I mean,
like
this is for
side.
Yeah. If he side docks, then he doesn't lose his production. It hurts to see him lose those numbers so easily when that's what he's going to need to come back in this game, and that's the reason he's going to Imperial, is to upgrade his numbers.
Yeah, exactly, and you know, it does take time to get those upgrades in. So we'll have to see 74% of the way to Imperial Age. I think the second dock should be going down by the time that any Imperial Age upgrades come in. So you need that production if you're Villese. Again, I really have to point to that cheap shipwright upgrade, only 500 food, 150 gold. So if you can get those upgrades, you will absolutely swamp Vikings who can never get that faster creation speed. But the thing is, you need the numbers, and eventually you need to get that production up and rolling, and TaToH's doing a beautiful job just keeping that production limited. Yeah,
and TaToH will be nearing the resources he needs to go to the Imperial Age. He will see that Villese isn't Imperial. This is where it's dangerous. So the question now is, has TaToH done enough? Can he hold on long enough and then get to imp himself? And I think it's all about longboat numbers. TaToH has to take very wise engagements. He still has a lot, but once fast fires come forward, he has to be careful, and I think he's got to start castling his flanks. His stone count is climbing for it. Oh my goodness, TaToH! This is not good for you, TaToH! The fires are not fast fires yet, but Villese groups up around these longboats. Right after I say this is not what you want to happen. There we go. Now they are fast fires.
Interestingly, we're seeing TaToH switch into the War Galley tech, getting some demo rafts to help deal with these fast fires.
Okay.
But again, you're looking at Castle Age units versus Imperial Age units, so and yeah, we see Dry Dock coming in very quickly as well. The extra speed going to be very important in the unit that has very short range and a fast fire ship. So this is still looking to be possibly the exact imp timing that we were talking about earlier. Yeah,
this is where Italians should consider going galleons as well. These demos are doing really well for TaToH. Can he get another one?
Oh, yeah. I think,
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, this is good. If you get the demos in, there's just enough damage, and then he can hold off with just Castle Age longbows. And just as I say it, now Villese realizes fighting in the choke point is dangerous against the demos and the longboats, and he will go galleon. But so far, TaToH's holding.
TaToH's holding, but he's not clicked up to imp just yet.
Yeah.
So that's not great. Wait, does he not even? He's not even close. He has like 0 resources.
Oh no, he's queued it up. He's queued it up in a TC. It's behind the villager.
Oh, okay. It just didn't show in the overlay.
Yeah, that's got me quite a few times. And there's the castle. I think it's important he protected his gold, but he's definitely going to need to protect the northern and the southern flank as well. And he can now use that castle too. He can actually retreat to the castle if he wants to. I think this is going to be very close in imp, because at this point, Villese is caught up in population. Villese is tech switching into galleon. that's dangerous, but at the same time, TaToH seems like he's going to have a whole lot of longboats to upgrade.
Oh, he'll have plenty of longboats to upgrade. He still is working with around double the military count of his opponent. The one thing that does have me a little bit concerned for TaToH is he has so much space on the left side of his island that his opponent can land. You can see he's outposting it to help protect it, but it's going to be, I think, comparatively way harder to get units safely across for TaToH to the base of his opponents. Looks like some longboats are being chased down on the right by a fast fire ship.
The other thing is TaToH doesn't have bracer or chemistry yet, and that is something, well, chemistry's not in quite yet for Villese, but Villese has that. So his galleons, Villese's galleons are actually going to be quite good against the longboats for now with those upgrades. And it's 112 population for TaToH. Actually, it's 110 for both of them, and there was a time where TaToH had 25 more.
Yeah, now look at the military count, T90. It's looking almost dead even, and this is just going to be favoring our guy who has the much better upgraded army, which is going to be Villese, also taking down some fishing ships, quite nice. And just to top everything off, he's working with around a 15 villager lead.
A beautiful thing you can start to do when you're in Villese's shoes, after you get all of your upgrades, which cost food and gold, think about transporting on the left and build a few barracks and make condotieres with that food. Condotieres raiding the economy can be very strong. You have to choose when to do it because that's still a lot of wood for the barracks. That's still a lot of food and gold. But if you time it correctly, it can be so good for Italians. Isn't it crazy? TaToH had 25 to 30 more population when Villese was on the way to Imp, and now Villese is in Imp, and he has a 25 population lead. That's Italians for you right there.
Yeah, it's just all about these timings can be so powerful with the cheaper uptime and techs. I mean, pretty much all of the Italian bonuses are discounts of some kind.
They're crazy.
Yeah, and now the military count is even, and TaToH's just made to Imp. Elite longboat on the way. Chemistry as well. I assume Bracer will be coming in as soon as he can afford it. So, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I want to see how TaToH works his way out of this. There's the castle. He knew that area was vulnerable, so he's castling the north. That is huge.
Yeah, and I think what's really important is he's preserved these longboat numbers. They're going to be coming in just a second. So it's going to be very, very hard to land. I guess there's still a stretch of coastline that is going to be somewhat vulnerable.
Yeah.
But right now, it's kind of playing ring around the rosy with these longboats, and that's exactly what you need.
I kind of like this because Villese has most of his navy on the other side. Let's see how Villese's response to this. Now, Villese is in blue because we're on his point of view, but you see Villese is more towards that choke in the south, and he will not be in the north. So Villese decides, all right, TaToH doesn't have his navy there. I need to push in. I also need to deal with this. And wow, this is really, really close stuff right now.
Yeah, Villese with a little bit of a military lead still, and with a fairly significant economic lead, and with all of those reinforcements coming in from Villese, the longboat numbers on the left-hand side is 18 to 14, and with the reinforcements so nearby for Villese, he's not going to be able to make a big push happen this way, where at the same time Villese keeps on gaining ground in the south, potentially endangering these lumberjacks.
Yeah, but you see this castle, I think in the previous set between LaaaaaN and Yo, we saw, it was a different situation, but LaaaN went for a forward castle on the enemy island. What you want to do is you want to castle the flanks like this. TaToH could have been pushed, but with that castle protecting him, he'll be fine. I think he'll probably consider another one in the south. Right now, Villese definitely has control. He has 40 more population. What do you think TaToH needs to do to change this up here?
I think TaToH is going to need to do one big clump of longboats, because you can just clump them up so easily, especially compared to the galleons, and take a really good fight that way. Right now, we have both players kind of splitting. And I think that favors the galleon player.
TaToH doesn't have chemistry. He's missing some upgrades. Look at those longboats.
No careening either.
No careening either, yeah. So Villese has all of his technologies. They were cheaper for him. Oh, and Villese is going to castle the center. This is so huge. Despite what you might think, you should not build 3 archer ranges on the center island. It should be a castle, OrnLu.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, you got to get out in front of these things.
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know, you'll have more stone then for potential castles, and then you can dock and reinforce from that area. That is huge.
Yeah, I think once you get the first castle established, then you can just make a bunch of towers. And because Italians, of course, do get heated shot, you can melt them. But big fight happening over on the left-hand side. 19 elite longboats versus 31 galleons. This is an insanely good fight here for
TaToH,
Villese.
you can't fight this, man. TaToH, I think, knows that he's in big trouble. He hasn't been able to move out in the south. He's hoping the stack of longboats are enough, but he moves them to find out he only has 7 remaining. I was sitting in the back room talking to Max when we were watching LaaaN and Yo play Islands, and Max and I were talking through all the safe things you need to do on Islands. Villese is doing everything correctly. TaToH is on the back foot, and Villese is is playing like a beast. He's playing like an absolute beast right now.
It's just completely solid play. Like, it's
mistakes.
It's hard to find any mistakes in his gameplay, and it's like the decisions making good, the mechanics are good. I'm really appreciating how he's just maintained a consistent villager lead throughout this game. Also with the strategic advantage of this middle island. I think he was also getting guard tower along the way. Like I was saying, it can be so powerful. And he didn't deny the castle in the south, but he did take a bunch of villagers down who are trying to build it.
And TaToH has made some big mistakes. He hasn't clicked chemistry. He has the resources for it. No careening. I mean, these are like elementary mistakes from TaToH. I'm not saying that would have saved it.
No, T90, even worse. He has chemistry. You can see the little flaming arrows. He doesn't have bracers, but he never clicked.
Oh, God. He doesn't have bracer.
Yeah, that's even worse because now you're being outranged by the galleons, and that's not what you want when your big advantage is being able to clump up like a madman. Masonry coming in. I love masonry on water maps because it makes the warships do like way less damage.
Yeah, and if you're perhaps thinking, because everyone knows how good TaToH is, if they're thinking, well, TaToH's through anyways, that's not a guarantee.
Nope.
Depending on what else happens, TaToH might not advance to the main stages. It's very, very close. So there's no underestimating of the opponent here. This is just TaToH being outmanned, outgunned right now, and possibly getting a little bit flustered.
Yeah, I mean, the mechanics of Villese are just too strong. Now TaToH's losing a bunch of lumberjacks to the south. We have to consider the wood count going forward. Yeah, TaToH's fine for the next 5 minutes or so, but beyond that, things can be a little bit tricky, and we can just see that we have Villese solidifying control of these islands in the middle. He's now getting keep. I haven't seen a single tower built from him.
Okay, so I think TaToH's going to... This is an interesting move. So he has a huge clump of longboats. Wow. And he's also going to bring in the siege rams, and Villese cannot fight this. If you have a siege ram next to your ships, the enemy ships are going to hit the siege rams instead of your own navy. So this is possibly TaToH's way back into it.
Yeah, you can think of this as like an archer plus siege ram battle on a land map.
Exactly.
You know, the galleons and longboats do pierce damage. They actually do get bonus damage against rams, so it's not like as good, but still quite powerful.
Still very helpful.
And this is exactly what I was saying back in early Imperial Age. TaToH can't just try and take two front battles. He needs to have a big old clump of longboats and just completely outmuscle his opponent in a huge fight like this.
Oh, but the transport from Villese. Nice. All right, TaToH abandoned the south because he had the castle there to protect himself. And now I think Villese is doing the right thing to just fall back to that castle in the center. And he has plenty more docks to produce from. He also built his castle on the shoreline. I cannot stress enough how important the castle positions are. Yeah. Huge fights, though. TaToH is actually doing really well, considering he doesn't have bracer.
These guys are really good, T90, and this fight, it's going to be massively in favor of TaToH. Look, this is what you were saying about the rack 'em, stack 'em longboats, because, yeah, there's way more here, actually, for TaToH, even though it doesn't necessarily look like it.
Yeah, it looks like there might be more galleons. Plus the siege rams, as we talked about, would still consider TaToH behind. The other scary thing about the whole bracer situation, he's going to assume he has that.
Oh, yeah.
He will not look to that blacksmith unless he wants to go for some other tech like infantry, which is not the time for.
Yeah, this is going to be really painful. We have actually now heated shot in as well. Another castle is going to go down to these trebuchets of Villese, and that's just going to be GG. That was such a solid game from our Finnish player.
Near perfection.
Yeah, seriously.
Near perfection. He was faster to eco. He was faster to feudal age pressure. I think he really caught TaToH off guard with the galleys. I think everyone, both us in the casting booth and maybe the players out there in the room, they expected to see fires because that's what we've seen from Italians. But the galleys was a 6 switch from Villese. Villese goes 2-0 up over TaToH. Wow.
That's not something you would have expected.
No, I'm telling you, this guy is so strong, and he's also been practicing a lot. It's actually funny. I said, wow, Villese, you played so good versus Dogal in the qualifiers. I could tell your practice played off. He was like, actually, I didn't practice that much.
Classic.
But yeah, 151 kills for Villese. He had more food, more wood collected. TaToH actually had more gold and stone. Do you think those fights would have gone massively, like, way differently if Bracer would have been in for TaToH, or do you think it was still would have been a numbers win for Villese? I
think it could have made it a lot closer.
Yeah.
I don't think it would necessarily be a decisive win for TaToH at that point, but I think would at least make it a much closer fight, especially if TaToH, I think, had grouped up his longboats earlier and tried to force the fight that way, maybe before the castle got up on the left-hand side.
Hey, overlay guy, can we go back to my screen real quick? I have a really important point. I want to point this out. So guys, if you look here, this was that early wave, that early lead for Villese. You'll see the more military, and you'll also see the eco. And then this was where those longboats massed. Notice what the faster Imperial did for Italians, though. TaToH had so much control, but then Villese got those cheap techs, and boom, more eco, more military throughout the rest of the game. Thank you, overlay guy. Appreciate it.
The hero
we'll
we need, but not
game.
the hero we deserve.
Yeah. And with that, that means we go to the next home map of TaToH, correct?
Indeed, indeed. That will be Cenotes.
Yeah. All right. We can't say C-notes anymore. Is everyone saying Cenotes?
Well, that's the correct way of pronouncing it.
Yeah, I know. I may have said it the other way for like 3 months.
It's fine. it's T90 fine, one might say.
Yeah. All right.
I'm ready to go. Like, this has been just really, really impressive play from both players, but obviously, especially Villese so far.
Villese is, you can tell, look how hyped he is.
Oh, yeah.
He looks so full of energy and so excited.
He's got that killer face right there. He's just ready to go full Kratos mode on TaToH.
That's also the look he has when he's frustrated, and also the look he has when he's excited.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's... I'm sure he'd be an excellent poker player.
Better than me, that's for sure. What's TaToH looking like? TaToH maybe getting some water here, maybe taking a couple minutes. That was it. Those battles are tough. You're doing more on an Islands game, I would say, than you're doing like mid-game on an Arabia game, because you're producing out of multiple docks. You're producing out of the TCs. You have different elements to focus on. So
yeah, definitely. There aren't any walls on water, so you really do have to be looking at every single angle. The one thing I will say for TaToH is he can totally make a comeback happen.
Yeah.
Like, if the last NAC2 finals were any indicator, like being down, like, what was it, 5-0, and then at least pushing it to, like, 7-5 or something like that, this guy can certainly hunker down and make stuff happen.
I think also the people who come through on the qualifier, while obviously they have great ability and great confidence, if they start to lose, like Villese loses the next game, it's going to be more in the back of his mind of, oh, LAaaN was up 2-0 versus DauT, and DauT came back 3-2, or, oh, shoot, TaToH, he's warmed up now. You know, maybe Villese sees some weakness in TaToH's game, and then TaToH starts to really get with it. You know, maybe that's something that does creep into your mind.
Yeah, we'll have to see here. These guys are, I believe, in the lobby, so I think we can see.
They'll be starting shortly, yeah.
Yeah, they'll be starting shortly. I think I see an Aztecs in the little 1/16th of the screen that we can see the player POVs.
Wow. You got 20/20 vision?
I actually have horrible vision. I'm wearing contacts.
That was a joke because it's 20/20, but...
Oh, yeah,
right.
sorry.
Funny.
Cast
Overlay
their
guy's
jokes.
impressed.
Cast their jokes.
Overlay guy's impressed.
Ooh, this is going to be an interesting one, T90.
Ooh, I see it. I'm liking it. Let's go. Very, very interesting pick considering the position TaToH is in.
And
I will find this game, and we will cast this game. Eventually, it will happen.
I have certain talents built over years of casting. TaToH, I will find you, and I will cast you.
I will cast you. Oh, man.
All right. There you go.
All right, so we're in game number 3, and in game number 3, TaToH's down 2-0. Villese has been looking really good. So TaToH, he's pulling some tricks out of the bag. Don't think this is going to surprise anyone nowadays. He's gone for Saracens.
Yeah, I mean, TaToH's the guy to play Saracens even before they got good.
Yes.
So he definitely, I think, what was it against TheMax he played most recently?
He tried against Hera last night.
Oh, Hera, my bad.
Yeah.
And it did not work out, but you can see that he #believes in this civilization and tried to make it work, but it's going to be going up against the big daddy of all open map civilizations in Aztecs.
Please never say Big Daddy again while we're casting.
I promise nothing.
Yeah, so we're speeding through the Dark Age here. We'll come to normal speed here in a second. But I really wonder, so for those that don't know, I'll just refresh you. Saracens rely on the market heavily. And so what I expect from TaToH is probably 22 population feudal, 4 on gold, fast stable, fast market. So he will buy food for a lot of early scouts. But what Hera did was, Hera said in the interview last night, he's died to it enough times where he knew it was going to be tough to deal with. he towered the gold. He took that gold out of the equation for TaToH. So what we need to look at is where can TaToH take gold. He's got his main gold here. He has a secondary here. This is very safe. I like this position. And then the third gold's way out to the right, which will probably be a non-factor. So I don't know. Like, I think people expect this strategy. TaToH still feels like he can do it. He still feels like he's going to be able to get to safe gold. I'm really excited to see.
Yeah, and we'll have to see if he's going to go for the Cav Archer play in Castle Age again, because that's something he did try and make work versus Hera, not too successfully, but it's something we've seen, I think, all the way back as like KOTD2. I think I saw it from him for the first time.
Yeah, I think it really depends, right? It always does. But I feel like in that instance, Hera was so far ahead, TaToH wanted to try something different. So if Villese doesn't scout this, it's going to be very dangerous. I'll hold my thoughts on that, though, because it, again, very much depends. TaToH might go archers. Like, maybe he will go archers because everyone's expecting this weird scout play. Hera's scouting was fantastic in that series, and it was fantastic in that game. And here's Villese now. And he will find TaToH scout, see the house, probably go to the left because he's expecting the TC to be here. And that's good thinking, man. If you lose that scout against TaToH in this situation, you're in big, big trouble.
Yep. Also, TaToH smartly walling in that villager just to be safe. Unfortunately for him, due to the pond that has generated here, you do need to wall all the way across the front with the gold because the shallows will allow any units to cross right over. So that's a little bit of a bummer for him. But just looking here at Vilese's map, actually, it is not quite so pretty with the very forward main gold. I guess it's a little bit wallable, and he kind of has some side golds-ish he can sort of work with.
I mean,
I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it either, but he does have this one here. It's not great. I actually need to see if he scouted that, because that's far enough where he might not. Oh, boy. So he does not see that.
Feels bad, man.
But he might go to the one to the left, then? At least he has an easy wall off with a cliff. Could maybe protect himself. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I think it's kind of interesting because Aztecs, they're very, everyone knows how Aztecs play. And, you're going to be going for archers and eagles and some sort of combination of those, maybe some monks and mangonels. Saracens, they have the second broadest tech tree in the game after Byzantines.
Ooh,
so
check this out, TaToH walls in his villager. He's building a barracks. Now, this was not what he would do with that other build. And Villese came right back around and scouted that. I cannot stress to you guys enough how huge that is.
Well, here's the thing. So the barracks is coming in, I think, a little bit on the late side for a drush.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be for a fast feudal age. Now that we see TaToH getting loom on 21 pop, this could just be for some very aggressive men-at-arm play. Or
he wants that barrack timing to be this way because it can create some confusion. Like, there's not a need to make militia. If you still want to go for the market play, you could. I'm interested. He got loom, protects the villager, will now try and wall the left side of his base.
It is a drush T90, and he got the 10 gold. So this is just a kind of delayed drush. Normally you expect this to be coming in more or less a minute or so sooner.
Yep.
And well, we'll have to see if this is going to work out. We have our red player, Villese, already clicking up on 22 pop. Very, very standard stuff from him, and I would be, militia queued up for him as well. So there's going to be some swordsman fighting here.
But does he see the barracks? He doesn't. He has not checked the barracks. Okay, now
he's going to right now.
Now he sees. Okay, so he's thinking this is man-at-arms from TaToH. This is a Dark Age rush. TaToH is staying in Dark Age. This is how TaToH used to play Saracens before all the buffs. He used to go with Drush FC with them. So what's cool to me about this is TaToH's done that other strategy so many times. People almost expect it. They try and scout it. And now Villese, he's going to have to deal with something that was not what he was game planning for.
Yeah, Saracens can have a pretty nasty Drush Fast Castle just because you have the now even cheaper market, only 75 wood.
Yeah.
And you can just sell your stone at that market, get a bunch of gold, and then just buy your way up to a very quick castle age. That does mean you won't be able to create additional town centers, but the idea is that you're just so much faster up.
Oh, this is huge. If TaToH engages versus these militia, when he's in Dark Age and his opponent wanted to upgrade them to man-at-arms, it's huge. If you were to ask TaToH like what his ideal scenario is here, it's that Villese takes a fight and his units die.
But I don't think he could ever force a fight. Like, it would require Villese to want to take the fight before Men-at-Arms, and now he knows his opponent isn't going to be getting Men-at-Arms faster than him. I mean, he can probably figure out that it's a drush at this point. So Villese, all he needs to do is just wait a little bit for his Men-at-Arm upgrade to come in. But what this is doing for TaToH is making sure that the Men-at-Arms aren't going to be in his base, all up in his grill.
Yeah, so Villese was kind of torn there for a second because his economy is very exposed, as we've noted before, right? So he wanted to prevent TaToH from getting in. TaToH still might, but he also needed to go forward. So this is the correct play for Villese. Normally, as well, you got to be sending Vils forward to tower because TaToH is just fully walled. He'll just wall behind. I think TaToH has played this to perfection, to at least what he wanted to do, because he'll also be in feudal age at a decent time to build defensive towers if need be. That is only if Villese goes forward, which, nope, he's going for range at home.
Yep, so this is the safe, more conservative play here from Villese. Not too surprising considering that is kind of his game style. Some quick walls coming in for him as well. I think he should be totally fine here, and I think both players aren't going to be getting any damage done until they make their next moves here.
Yeah, so now it's about how many resources will TaToH have, how important will that 75 wood market be. He gains more resources from buying and selling, and also the market is 100 wood less than any other civ, and that's the first thing we will see here. There's the market that will complete soon. Notice how TaToH has built this mining camp.
Yeah,
this is very satisfying. On the gold and the stone.
If only the stone was one tile closer, man.
And I also feel like...
Ooh, also TaToH coming in here with the drush.
Ooh.
I think the villager's fine.
Yeah, villager's fine, but you know, it's harassment, right? You don't need to kill anything with this. It's just buying yourself time. I'm curious if TaToH is going to sell that stone, because I think he went 2 on stone just in case he was going to be towered.
Yeah.
And now that he's seeing the range from Villese, he might be more prone to sell some of that stone and then buy food to go Castle Age faster.
I mean, I think you need to, right?
I feel like I would do that,
I mean, he hasn't gotten double bid axe or horse collar yet, I believe.
I feel like I'd sell all my stone.
Yeah. Then you can keep the 2 villagers on stone and then add extra TCs if you feel like you can.
Yeah, or a tower if need be,
or,
like a couple
or if
minutes
you're getting towered, but obviously we know that's not happening.
Well, the one risk right now is that there are going to be archers following up here, so you know it's not like TaToH can repair that house forever. Yeah, TaToH sold stone. He just needs a little bit more of both food and gold, and he'll be on his way up. And then, I mean, this is just so good. This is so good. He'll still have the 2 on stone, so soon enough he's going to have enough to build that tower if need be, and he'll go for crossbows. This is the old TaToH, guys. If you're new to the community, this is what TaToH did in big tournaments where no one else would ever dream of picking Saracens. He was the only one. And then suddenly they make the market 25 wood cheaper than it was, and everyone's like mind blown. It's like, whoa, big Saracens all the time.
Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure the first time we saw this was in KOTD2, which was
against Stark.
Against Stark, yeah, I remember that.
I remember Stark had some choice words for TaToH.
Oh yeah, he was not a happy camper.
Yeah, that was. We're not going to bring that up. But anyways, TaToH won, and he's doing really well here, but he needs a result, man. He needs a result. Getting 3-0'd by Villese here would be very dangerous for him.
Yeah, we do see the militia actually still alive and going to be able to pick off an archer by TaToH. So that's going to be a nice little bit of a win. Also, Palisade pretty low HP. Does Villese realize it? 8, 6,
and
3.
He's through! Oh! He's through, and the villagers are trapped as well, and the scout is there. Oh my goodness, this is perfect for TaToH. And that villager is down. The next villager, well, will be down, sorry. I foresee the next villager to be down. Oh my goodness.
That was crazy. Those militia were like completely stacked on top of each other.
You can't run either because TaToH will block.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I mean,
TaToH
you're just so far away.
Dead. Wow, that's so sick. And he's 80% of the way to Castle Age. Villese is so far behind now.
Yeah, like Villese has almost gone too passively. I think you were right in that you needed to go for the forward tower.
I think so too.
I think you play this very, very standard style when your opponent is going greedy, because what TaToH is doing is greedy, like no grass doubt about it. And yeah, now I feel like you're just gonna run the risk of dying to crossbowmen that do extra damage against buildings.
There are situations though where someone just plays perfect. And I really feel like if Villese would have done what I think is right and gone men-at-arms and towers, TaToH would have been fine because of the 2 on stone. Like, he prepared for that, then it didn't happen, he used the market to get castle. I mean, I think TaToH has played this near perfect, man. He really has, and now he'll have crossbow. What does Villese do against crossbow? I mean, Villese has palisade walls, And now the archers, the Saracens, do more damage against those walls.
+3, I believe.
Yeah, I expect TaToH to go through here really quickly.
Yeah, certainly. Get, I think, half obsidian arrows at this point if you're Saracens, so that's not going to be too shabby at all. And I think the map is really an important consideration here in favor of TaToH, as he has all the resources he needs in the back, was able to get everything walled off, and that last militia finally going down of TaToH's. But the crossbowmen are going to be a knock in here in a second.
Yep, here they come. If I were TaToH, I would... So he's used his scout to see the eagles there. Try and take that out of the equation. Boom.
Out of the equation.
And now pick a spot, right? Pick a spot the furthest away from the reinforcements from Villese. Villese is on the way to castle. He's definitely thinking elite skirm, which is the play. But watch this. Watch how quickly these palisade walls melt.
Not bad.
It's not bad at all.
I always have to keep telling people that even without the extra bonus that Saracens have, their team bonus was like really good for this exact purpose.
Yeah,
and
it's always been good.
Yeah, it's always been good, and now it's just even better, punching through even faster. Now the crossbowmen have found their way into the woodline of Villese, and those villagers are on a one-way trip to Frown Town.
And now the skirms don't have fletching, the skirms don't have armor. This is so much needed momentum for TaToH. More reinforcements will be coming in. Is there even a way back against this? I mean, the gold is over on the left. There's another wood line here. Everything that Villese needs is about to be in harm's way. Oh, man. And I just heard ballistic, or sorry, not ballistics. I heard the university, which means TaToH will get ballistic soon as well. It's just been so clinical from TaToH.
Yeah, still often go with the 1 TC play, and he's still keeping 2 on stone, so he is consistently selling
the micro
those
here
stone.
as well. He baited Villese into chasing him, ran all the way back. This is beautiful. And now Villese is running again from a resource. He's building a tower. Like, that tower is such a panic tower. That's not going to protect you, Villese. Oh, he did. Oh, I didn't see that tower. I like that, though.
Yeah, I mean, that tower again
that one on the gold is nice, yeah.
And if Villese can make it to the Castle Age and maybe get another town center down, I mean, his opponent is fairly all in at this point still. So maybe if you just, muscle your way through with elite skirmishers, maybe we can see something happen from Villese here, but it's going to be very tricky as ballistics is coming in just a second for TaToH.
Let's see. So TaToH will have ballistics. I wonder if he goes forward siege workshop. I wonder if he goes forward siege workshop or if he goes for TCs, because against elite skirm, it can be pretty dicey.
I personally would like to see some TCs. I know I'm a boomer at heart, but I think it would be the safer play at this point.
I agree. He's done a lot of damage, right? He will have a Vill lead. His eco is certainly more efficient. Look at the micro from TaToH with the split armies, and he is picking off more villagers on the wood line. Yeah, I'm with you. I think you've done enough damage now. No need for a forward siege workshop. TaToH will start to... He's starting to come back. He's starting to come back.
Yeah.
Villese realizes there's no way back. I mean, I didn't think there was a way back at that point because it was so damn perfect from TaToH. That was so damn perfect. Like I said, if Villese goes forward, TaToH defends anyways.
Yeah, definitely. And
so smart.
Just having the back gold and stone there, because it is very important to be able to sell the stone, and just having that as a backup, because if you normally go for that play and don't have access to stone, then, oh no, you have 0 stone to make a defensive tower. But TaToH had the back stone, the back gold, the back wood, and a fairly easy map to wall. So that was just the perfect strategy for the perfect map, and that is a 20 to 4 kill death ratio.
Wow, 20 to 4 KD. Didn't have the food, didn't have the wood. He had all the gold. That is Saracens for you right there. Use that market, folks. Sick stuff. So now we move on to Villese's home map. So Villese knew this wasn't going to be an easy task to beat TaToH. And Villese's home maps are Golden Pit and Hideout. Do you have any guess which one he might go for here?
I don't think it matters that much.
Yeah, me either, but we got to talk about it, so.
Oh, okay. Giving me loaded questions right there. But, okay, it looks like they haven't picked the map yet, but they are in the lobby. Yeah. So we're going to be getting pretty quickly here into this game number 4. Yeah, 4. That's the number after 3. And, ooh, are we going to be seeing a new Civ for the first time this tournament? We very well might be.
I love it. Don't tell them yet.
Oh, no.
We don't want...
It is a Civ that I know that you and I have talked about it, and we both really like this Civ.
Yes.
So
chat's going to say Koreans. It's not Koreans, all right? Even though new Koreans are pretty interesting.
I like Koreans.
Yeah. Have they picked the map yet? I guess it would be Villese, he would have to say, right?
It's Golden Pit.
Golden Pit, okay. So Golden Pit.
Another Civ we haven't seen, potentially. A Civ that my viewers would definitely have an opinion about.
All right. I know that people in chat are going, oh, I got to find the game. I know people in chat love this civilization. This civ is such a tricky civilization to deal with. Probably one of the more unique civ matchups that we've seen so far. Well,
it is
in a
one
long
of
time.
It is one of the most unique matchups
Yeah.
we've seen so far, as both civs have not been played just yet. And here we are, T90 loading up into our game number 4, TaToH versus Villese on Golden Pit.
I mean, this is a unique civ matchup pretty much across the board. I personally, and this is the one we were talking about, felt like Ethiopians, the civ that Villese has gone for, has been a civ that's underrated. I think a big reason you might not pick them is because they can really struggle against Meso civilizations, like Mayans, Aztecs. But anyways, Ethiopians are going to be fun to talk about. And then TaToH, who needs a win here to tie it up 2-2, has gone for the Byzantines. Man, I'm so pumped for this. This isn't rare just for NAC 3. This is rare for competitive Age of Empires across the board.
Yeah, Byzantines just have so many options. They're just a very defensive civilization, one that if you can take control of the center, it's just going to be so hard to uproot Byzantines. They're so good at defending. Also, apparently known for their amazing Bloodlines tech, because that's something that I made a mistake about.
Wait, did you say they had Bloodlines?
I was talking about another civ and accidentally said they had Bloodlines, and then I've never been given a break for 2 years now.
Well, we all have those things. So.
Oh, yeah.
Let me ask you, which civ do you prefer?
Byzantines, 100%.
Yeah. So I feel like Ethiopians can be quite good, but not against... I mean, they can be good against Byzantines, but I like Byzantines more.
Yeah, this is... Like, it's a matchup that's fairly rare, so it's not like I think either of us have a ton of experience watching or playing it.
Yeah.
But I do specifically remember playing a game not too long ago. I know it's down in noob level on 1800 Vubli, but I was Ethiopians, and I just could not find a way to get past Byzantines. Like, especially if they, play defensively with skirmishers and got to a faster Imperial Age. Like, it can be pretty hard.
Yeah, so let's see. Ethiopians have the faster firing crossbows, and that's a big reason why I wanted to see this more often. But you know what they could be really good at is Drush Fast Castle.
Yeah.
I think that's their advantage over Byzantines, because they get plus 100 food, plus 100 gold when arriving to each age. So if you go late feudal Fast Castle, that's extra 200. Then you get to the crossbows. And yes, Byzantines have those cheap skirmishers, and I think in the mid-game, Byzantines can use that with a lot of success against Ethiopians, but maybe that's the way to play this with Villese. It's also a strategy that really suits this map.
Yeah, definitely. Golden Pit and Gold Rush, kind of similar maps, to be honest. I think Golden Pit's just a better version of Gold Rush because you have the downhill dynamic for some extra risk for going for the middle, as opposed to extra reward. But you start close to the edge of the map, so usually you have a pretty wallable map.
Yeah, well, I wanted to talk about Gold Rush, but we probably shouldn't, because I slightly disagree with that, but it's not important. We can talk about that later. But yeah, I mean, it's a little bit more risky to go to the pit here. Also, you have to be more aggressive on Golden Pit because you have 6 tiles of gold. Here's 3 tiles for Villese. The other 3 is here. And then you see TaToH's 3 and TaToH's 3. So yeah, more aggressive at center, but also if you're there, your opponent is doing more damage against you while you're in the center.
Yeah, definitely. Also, you only have 8 tiles of stone on this map, something that comes into play sometimes depending on the civ. So you have much less stone. There are no neutral stones that I believe are ever generated on this map. So there's only so many defensive buildings, castles, towers, what have you, that you can really make to secure control of the center. So being able to keep those alive is just extra important. But do you think we'll just be seeing Drush Fast Castle from both these players on these maps?
I think we're definitely going to see Drush Fast Castle from Villese. He's just collected 10 gold. I expect a villager to come out and build a barrack shortly. I'd be very surprised if he does not, actually. Now, for TaToH, I would hope so. But the aspect of that you have to think about it is you're going to be behind in that, right? I feel like you have to go up with more villagers because you don't get those free resources. So if that's the case, maybe he chooses to go for feudal age aggression. Maybe he decides to go forward with man-at-arms and heavy skirms. I don't know.
Heavy skirms. Sounds
Heavy
like
skirms.
That's a cool unit. I've never heard of that one before. But I think
DauT's never made a skirmisher ever.
No, just never check Reddit.
I work very hard with that.
I wish I could say the same. But I like the backstone here for Villese. In case of forward play, having the backstone there as an option is super important, I feel.
Yep. TaToH is going FC, though. I think he's walling here. He's sending villagers out to the Ostrich. And I assume we'll wall the left side. Yeah, lots and lots of walls.
This is quite the ambitious wall here from TaToH.
I don't, do you like this? I don't like how forward this is, because what happens is if someone is attacking your palisade walls with crossbows in the next stage, then you can't wall behind. Here, if someone's attacking your units, you could maybe quickly wall behind, but you don't really have that option out here. The units are going to walk in, and then you have to make another layer way back here.
Maybe he feels like to be competitive in a fast castle game, he has to take these ostrich. And
that's true, yeah.
And therefore he's walling all the way to the left-hand side, because otherwise there's just no reason to. There aren't any resources that are worth walling this early on, because most of the action for him is going to be on the upper right-hand side of his base.
Oh, he's using the mill as part of the wall. Wow, I've been casting some low elo legend matches with that recently. That's great. If only the ostrich would just walk back in here. I hope he leaves the one palisade open so it does, because I think its starting position was over here. Oh, he's housed at the moment.
Feels bad. If only that was a house.
Oh, he's going up feudal already. I think simply because he was pop capped.
That's never super.
He's not going to have a great time with this. And meanwhile, Villese.
He's been luring the ostrich, I believe. I only see one left.
Villese has not made any militia, by the way. He's just going straight fast castle, in case people didn't realize that. No barracks for either of them.
And that was an adaptation, because you can see he has the 110 gold in the bank. And
yeah, he was thinking.
And if you're like, okay, both players are going to go wall rush FC, it makes more sense to just not make the militia.
Yeah.
Because then you can just save the extra resources. I actually think it's a little bit of a mistake for him to go onto gold, actually not really using Ethiopians to their fullest potential, because you can just, you know, not mine any gold and click up.
Well, I think
he doesn't have loom, so literally he could have just not mined gold and clicked up.
Yeah, but I think, well, you're going to need loom. You're going to go for an immediate range, and you want immediate production, so it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's only bad if, you know, he doesn't have the food. It's very possible he will not have the food to click up, and then he'll have excess gold. But yeah, I'm with you there. I think sometimes on Arena, you see that, where they don't take any gold, they don't get any loom, right?
I think you see that every time on Arena with Ethiopians.
Yeah.
But
so.
Yeah, I think this is, you know, it's going to be fairly even. Just we see uptimes a little bit later here for Villese, but with 2 more villagers, because he hasn't gotten loom yet, TaToH has. And it's going to be a matter of what these guys choose to do in Castle Age, how aggressively they try to go for the middle, because like you said earlier, they do have at least a little bit of gold to work with.
Yeah, watch the resources here. 564 and, hello, 664, archer range. Blacksmith's probably on the way up. It is. I don't love that blacksmith. You could have built it maybe to the right.
At least incorporate it into his wall.
Yeah, it tells you it doesn't want to farm much, because that would be a great position for a farm. Not that I'm one to talk about that.
So I've heard. Also, he got horse collar right away, which I thought was... Or no, wait, did he cancel that? He might have canceled it.
I don't know, but he's going to click up. This is an amazing time. And TaToH is in feudal first, and TaToH will be a bit later with this. Oh, but TaToH, he's gone Market Blacksmith, which means he'd need a barracks and then need an archer range. I mean, I really like Villese's position right now. He's going to have good military momentum, and he's already 2-1 up.
Is TaToH just going to try and go for, like...
Mangonels, maybe?
Yeah, Mangonel, maybe monk defense, because, of course, Byzantines do have very good monks against enemy Mangonels, or just try and get to a fast Imperial Age and then push to the middle then, because, you, like we were saying, you do have enough gold to, you know, get you by in the short to medium run, so maybe add an extra TC or 2 in the front, secure those extra mineral resources, and then just play this super defensive, because that's where Byzantines are at their strongest.
Yeah, I assume so, but I don't love the play. I don't think he does either, but he's committing towards it because of his weak Dark Age and Feudal Age. I swear, if he didn't get housed at 25 pop, he would have continued to create 3 or 4 more vills and gone for a similar build that Villese is going for. Beautiful work with Villese with his scout, by the way. He has more HP than TaToH. You need that to see what your opponents are going for.
Yeah, especially on this map where going forward in Castle Age is very common. And you can go forward Castle Age with a lot of different stuff. So it's just going to be archers now for the meantime for Villese.
And when you go fast castle crossbow, it's so rare that you can get crossbow, which is 125 food and 75 gold, and Bodcanera, which is 200 food and 100 gold. But that Bodcanera upgrade is essentially free from those resources you got earlier. So this is going to be a strong early push from Villese, and there's a forward villager. He deletes the wall, builds another one, and she's going to waltz forward. I would not be surprised to see a forward siege workshop.
Yeah, that would make plenty of sense to me. So, of course, Ethiopians, they don't have any bonuses for their siege until you potentially ever get torch engines, but I'm not the biggest fan of that Siege Workshop placement.
Yeah, it's not a very aggressive Siege Workshop. What's the reasoning for how passive it is? I guess Villese probably realizes there might be skirms. He knows that's a possibility. We were expecting it.
Regardless, he's faster up to Castle Age, right? So
Yeah.
I like the idea of going forward still.
Yeah, like maybe build it where his archers are right now.
Yeah, I think that's the spot. Contingency wall is coming in here for TaToH, though, with these houses all
That's
in
smart.
a nice little line.
Yeah, I like that. Like that a lot. And Villese won't know that either. So Villese will think, wow, I'm going to, well, he might think he's going to break through, but TaToH will wall further behind. TaToH also will lose his scout, but before doing so, seize the Siege Workshop. So it's probably not the biggest surprise, because he was going to make his own anyways.
Yeah. And you see the defensive Siege Workshop coming in quite naturally here for Mr. TaToH, and there is the second TC. Like I was perhaps thinking about, we're just going to see some very passive play here, I think, from our blue player, and then just use the Byzantine faster, or cheaper Imperial Age to get to Imperial Age faster.
Yeah, the less damage Villese does, the better here for TaToH, because I think his mid-game is stronger with Byzantines. I think the cheaper skirmishers, just skirm Arbalest with Byzantines is so much better. And then the civs are pretty similar, right? Ethiopians do have the faster firing arbs, but Byzantines and Ethiopians both get bombard cannon, they both get siege ram. And now we have to talk about the next bonus that will come into play for Byzantines, and that's the cheaper Imperial. So it's much cheaper for them to go to the Imperial Age. Ethiopians might have the faster punch in Castle Age, but TaToH might surprise us.
Yep, that's why. Oh, Scorpion was actually the first unit out here for TaToH. That's not going to fare too well against the Mangonel.
Yeah, what's his gold count like?
Not
very high.
136.
Only 4 on gold. I think he just used the market though.
Well, he was
TaToH.
building the TC with gold miners, I believe.
Okay, yeah, TaToH, you've got to... I don't expect Villese to go through here, but I got a little bit antsy for him when I saw those palisades go down.
Yeah, we also have another villager coming forward for Villese. Built a house in the middle, nice property value with all gold nearby.
Yeah,
but this is likely for, do you think a tower or another?
I think it's repair. I think it's a repair build.
Okay.
I think she'll just build houses around here, and he knows that there will be like Mangonels from TaToH, so he needs a repair.
The first Mangonel of TaToH is out, like you were saying, and...
Nice reaction from Villese. Does lose his scout, but yeah, he's aware of this. I also love the outpost. We've seen some beautiful Mangonel micro, and we see it there, 1-for-1 for both. Now, but why hasn't Villese built the Siege Workshop forward? Now he has to reinforce with these slow Mangonels, and they're not quick at all. They take forever to produce. I really feel like the one mistake from him has been that Siege Workshop location.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that this very passive game plan from TaToH is honestly really good.
Yeah.
It's not something pros like doing ever, because you're just kind of sitting and waiting a lot of the time instead of doing something active.
Yeah.
But it fits the Civ really well.
It does.
And it fits the matchup, I think, even better.
Yeah, Byzantines have higher HP buildings, so these houses and palisades have held a little bit more. You got to play the Civ this way. And I love how TaToH has more villagers, 46 villagers to 38. So he's played like a bit of a boomer, very defensive.
It has the OrnLu stamp of approval, this play style.
Yeah, I mean, now you got to wonder, tell me Villese realizes that this TC isn't being built. Oh my god, how long has this been here?
I don't know, but it's not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 villagers who are not only just standing idly, they are literally frozen in place.
Oh man. I mean, the problem is they will not show up as idols. They do not show up as idols because they're trying to work.
Why would they?
Okay, now he realizes.
Oh,
because there's no way to get out of those. Wait, he actually could have gone out here.
No,
it depends on when he placed it, though. Maybe that was closed off when he placed it.
I don't think it was.
I don't know. It could be a thanks to E moment. Either way, I think Villese should have probably kept an eye on that. TaToH already has a pretty huge villager lead, 11 villager lead.
And since neither Civ has a persistent eco bonus, just getting that early villager lead is going to be so critical.
Oh, beautiful from TaToH. So now TaToH could consider pushing out now, and he is considering it. He deletes that partially built house. He'll have 2 Mangonels, soon 3 actually. And he has the eco lead. It's looking much better for TaToH. What have those crossbows even done for Villese in this game?
Nothing.
Nothing.
They killed 1 villager.
Yeah.
Correction.
Yeah, of course, right?
Honestly, I don't even think TaToH needs to push out. Just sit on your butt and wait till Imperial Age.
Yeah.
University's on the way for him. Let's see how close he is to clicking up.
He's getting very close.
Yeah, he's getting very close. I mean, Byzantine's...
Oh, big shot, big attack round from TaToH. Big hit on the crossbows that were otherwise useless. But Villese would want them for later on. So I think Villese, man, after coming out so strong in game 1 and 2, losing game 3 to that fantastic play from TaToH, it's obvious to me that he's probably a little bit antsy. He'll know that the TC was delayed. TaToH has the score lead. It's almost impossible for him to do damage. Oh, man, I think TaToH could easily tie this up here.
Yeah, and then the one thing that I do think Villese is doing that is nice is he has the map control, so he's taking the middle of the map while he still can.
That is true.
Because it's obviously just so important on this map. Third TC now on the way for TaToH. Oh man, he is playing this just like I would. Just sit in your base and not have to worry about micro all that much. Just make villagers.
48, so you're the people I hate to play against, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Huh? We used to play a lot of Hun Wars. Those Hun Wars were pretty good.
Oh yeah.
We played maybe half a dozen or something.
Yeah, we had some good games.
Yeah.
Even though you're better than me.
No, they were good games.
Yeah, they were good games though.
I like the TC too because there's limited gold for TaToH. So that 3-tile gold there is protected and also gives him a stone. So castle's very much important on a map like Golden Pit. In fact, I think the ideal castle spot would probably be where Villese built that house. Yeah, TaToH just seems to be doing everything right, and there's not much more we can say than that. I'm really curious, though, as TaToH clicks up to the Imperial Age, what Villese will do to respond now, because he doesn't have the cheaper Imperial. If he was Byzantines, those resources would be enough for him. He's getting close to clicking up, but what's the play?
Well, he's not too far behind economically. He is up to the 3 TCs at around the same time as TaToH. And the thing that TaToH needs to do is he needs to get like all of the Archer upgrades.
Yeah,
because that's going to be the unit that you can exploit best with a fast Imperial Age because they are relatively cheap and quick to produce. Range is now coming down from him, but he's still getting crossbowmen. I think he only has fletching. Yeah, he does. So he's still got some upgrades to go for.
Yeah, there's a lot of momentum that Villese gained in this. Did lose a few crossbows and some HP, but he's already been working on one range. He already has bodkin and fletching. I like that logic there. Now TaToH will be an imp faster. I think the important upgrades here is chemistry. If TaToH gets chemistry nice and early in imp, he'll probably make bombard cannons, and it can be so tough for Villese's current situation to deal with that.
Yeah, TaToH is gathering a little bit of stone, but not like I want to build a castle amount of stone, so this might even just be for a 4th town center in the middle of the map.
So you need to trickle the stone in here, because you only have so many vills, right? So if you put 10 villagers on stone for a fast castle, that means that you won't have the food and the gold to get the upgrades I mentioned and you mentioned. So it's just very smart eco-balance. It's something you see from the top 10, top 20 players very frequently.
Well, I think for me, the interesting thing was not a matter of he only had a few villagers on stone, but that he had any at all.
Yeah,
because in a lot of these fast imp situations, you just don't gather any stone and just rock it with arbs and bombard cannons and maybe some rams. So what this does say is that eventually he is going to want to get a castle because he's slowly trickling more villagers onto it.
Yeah, it's good because I think otherwise he could find that Villese has castled the center or find that he needs trebs instead of bombard cannons. But first upgrade for TaToH, chemistry. It takes a long time to research this. So he's actually prioritizing this over the bracer upgrade, which he will eventually get as well for what is now crossbow. He's thinking crossbow, probably crossbow first, and then a mix-in of skirmishers.
Isn't he getting Arbalest?
Well, yeah, Arbalest is on the way as well. Sorry,
also, there was one for Mangonel trade in the middle of the map.
I saw that,
Yeah, so that's nothing going to be too impactful. And the thing that I always say is the weakness of the fast imp arb play is that they're really bad at killing buildings. Bombard cannons take a while to get to because you need to research chemistry.
Yeah.
So right now, it's not like Villese is in too much of a problem, but it's going to start becoming a problem very soon.
Yeah, TaToH's got to be careful. These are still only Castle Age units. I'm actually going to his point of view as he chooses to push forward a little bit.
Dodges the first Mangonel hit.
Now he has Arbalest, sorry. And micro from TaToH.
And now that he has all of the attack upgrades, he will be able to take the Mangonels. Oh!
Not bad. This is a very close game. Both are going to have Arbalest. Ethiopian Arbalest are going to fire faster, and Villese also has the hill. I think TaToH needs to back up for now.
Yeah, and if this is a big Arb shootout, like Ethiopians are going to absolutely annihilate Byzantines.
Yeah.
I think in total, it's like another almost 20% once Thumbring is researched for both players. So that can be a big difference maker, but upgrades, I guess, are kind of even, and I still do like TaToH's position a bit better.
Well, keep in mind he's running dangerously low on gold. It's not the worst civ to play as if you're running low on gold, and he'll mix in those cheap skirmishers, but Bombard Cannons, 225 gold a piece. So if Villese is able to take out these Bombard Cannons, I really like his position. For now, though, I don't like it because his chemistry upgrade hasn't completed yet, and TaToH's already on his first.
Indeed, another 1-for-1 Mangonel trade coming in. And the status quo is kind of interesting because now we have skirmishers coming in for TaToH, but that is a transition that takes, you know, some amount of time to make. And all the while, we have Villese just mining all the gold that he could ever possibly want. So that's going to be pretty nice for him, but Bombard Cannon is going to start to work away at the center TC. Yeah,
I think Villese is going to need not only his own Bombard Cannons, but his own skirmishers, and it's not very easy because skirmishers are not near as expensive. But man, this is so close. What a series, man. This has been one of the best sets that I've seen in this event.
How many sets have you seen in this event?
I've seen the last yesterday and today. And I saw about 15 minutes otherwise. But still, one of the best sets that I have seen. I mean, DauT came back from being down 2 games, so it was a pretty incredible set to watch.
Yeah, no, and honestly, I think that's been such a great thing with NAC so far. Is there have been so many excellent sets. We now have the last armor upgrade coming in here for Mr. TaToH, and that is going to be very, very nice for the skirmishers. Going to be able to tank so much more Arbalest fire. And there we go, town center down.
Okay, TaToH's got to get some gold now, just a little bit. Maybe just a mining camp or 2 on the gold will be helpful.
Or a town center.
Or a town center would work as well. There it is. Bombard Cannon for Villese, fires, misses, and I expect a whole lot more of the same. Yeah, we're so spoiled in this community, man. Like any time, it could be rated games. Any time that players are playing games, the games are going to be good.
Oh yeah.
There's a very big reason that everyone's here watching today, and anytime players get together at a LAN event is even different. Or sorry, is even better, I think. So.
Oh yeah, like. This is not the fight that TaToH's looking for, I feel.
He has skirms with full armor, though.
Yeah, the +4 armor is pretty huge.
Skirms with full armor, and he also has 2 Bombard Cannons.
Well, both players, I feel, kind of were even in that exchange. Military count is actually dead even right now, but TaToH's still working with a better economy. Oh, Arb's moving a little too forward. This is
so dangerous for Villese. Villese is still making only Arbalest. He does have 2 Bombard Cannons. I think we're beginning to see the difference between Byzantines and the Ethiopians now. And big shot from TaToH. Oh. He gets another one. Both the Bombard Cannons for Villese die. He's out of the gold. He can't take any now. Is there a response to this, or will Byzantines just overwhelm?
I mean, like, Torch and Engine Siege Onagers is the answer, and that's only going to take around 20 years to get to.
Yeah.
This is why I honestly would favor Byzantine so much in this matchup, because these skirmishers are the next thing to free, and every single Arbalest is going to cost quite a lot now that Villese is off of that gold. He has 136 gold left, as his mining camp or his gold mine is going to run out in 400 gold. This is looking like he could be going to game number 5.
Yeah, wow, and TaToH's so confident here. He hasn't even been using his Bombard Cannons to attack the units. He's been using his Bombard Cannons, and he loses one there against the buildings just to chew up those reinforcements. Oh man, Villese was 2-0 up in the series. TaToH's all over him, 28 military to Villese's 10.
Yeah, this,
oh man.
Now you're camping the production, you're just keeping on trickling units while your opponents just die the second that they leave the archery range or whatever building. He has no gold left, essentially. This game is all but over, and we are going to be going to game number 5.
This is crazy. Yeah, I think TaToH could even consider going for Rams. It's not necessary, but if you go for a few Rams here, there's nothing stopping that.
It ends the game a bit faster.
Yeah. TaToH might see this Bombard Cannon's weak and run in there to pick it off. Yeah, it's so easy with the skirms with that high pierce armor to run in against the Arbs. And yeah, that Bombard Cannon will die. 225 gold that Villese does not have down the drain.
Yeah, this is just not something you can come back from, not when these players are at this high of a level. You see actually cavalry upgrades coming in. Is this for the random cataphract?
I think it's just for light cav, I would assume.
No, it's for cataphracts. Don't ruin my dreams. T90.
Does he have a castle yet? Okay.
Yeah, he has a castle.
Okay, well he's getting conscription right now. Oh, TaToH lost 2 out of his 3 Bombard Cannons. Hold on. Be careful there, TaToH.
But he has a trebuchet, he's taking down all the siege workshops, his opponent doesn't have a castle and is not going to get a castle in the near future as his stone is forward. I guess he has a stone in the back as well, but like, momentum is a huge thing in AoE, and Villese doesn't have it.
I love how that villager is diving in after the bombard cannon. Oh, never mind. The skirmisher got it.
Feels bad, man.
And the repairs are decent, but I think TaToH right now all he's doing is tech switching.
Yeah.
So what's
He's
the stable
going
hotkey
paladins.
here? Is he? Yeah, is he going for Cavalier? Yeah. So he has the gold. Ethiopians, they're only making skirms right now. They do have help, but it's such a long tech switch, such a long road there. I think Villese knows this is probably over, but he's waiting for TaToH to finish him off with that big switch.
Yeah. At least, make your opponent work for it. There's always a chance until there isn't a chance.
Yeah.
And, TaToH, he's going to be sending the Knights out, I think, pretty much right away because you don't need that many upgrades to
Villese might even call it if he sees the scout. Watch, this is the most intimidating scout
in the
ever.
world. With +2 defense, you can see it
he'll
instantly.
see the upgrades,
Yeah.
He'll see the scout, and he might think, oh boy, something else is coming in.
And that something is a Cavalier.
Yeah.
Without bloodlines, notably.
Still fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. There go the Cavalier, after the bombard cannon, after the skirms. The skirms won't last. Villese is housed, he's pop-capped badly. His stone is also forward. He's trying to desperately take that. More skirmishers from TaToH. Insane production. Look at this. He has about 20 different units queued up and upgrades on the way. Surprised Villese hasn't called it yet. I really am surprised. I don't know if there's anything. We'll go to his point of view here.
Sure.
See if he sees something we don't. We see the blocks.
Yeah, he sees the cubes. We certainly don't see the cubes normally.
And he's blue on his screen.
Yeah, this isn't gonna... It's 40 military to 16 in favor of TaToH. He's still a good 30 villagers ahead. He has literally all of the gold control on the map right now.
Look at that laser focus from TaToH. Laser focus.
Oh, yeah. And there's the GG.
Wow.
This series is really close.
Really, really close. And I mentioned it earlier. You're 2 games up on TaToH, and then TaToH ties it. Ugh, man, I know I would be feeling nervous, right? And Villese has to perform in the next game. He has to win this next game. If he does win the next game, he moves on, right? TaToH, again, if he loses the next game, Villese would move on. TaToH still has a chance to advance because of his previous performances. But if TaToH wins... Basically, both players need to win. All right, like your fate is in your own hands here for both of them.
And that's going to be every single game going forward, essentially.
All of today, yes.
And of course, once we get into the knockout stage, you need to win there.
Yeah.
Obviously, but looking at the achievements real quick, economy. Like TaToH had the better opening and was able to defend and get to that faster Imperial Age by a little under a minute, but that can make be a huge difference.
I mean, I mentioned it when he built the Siege Workshop. I think Villese was too passive.
Yeah.
I think the Siege Workshop should have never been right outside of his own walls when he had the map control. If he built that forward, he could have applied pressure to TaToH. TaToH might not have comfortably been able to boom. Instead, TaToH comfortably boomed. He got to the strong Byzantines late game, and he had no chance. Villese had no chance against it.
And since Villese had such a strong fast castle, the other thing you could have done is just instantly go 3 TC. So, and then get a villager lead that way, because TaToH only went 2 TC and then added the 3rd TC and wasn't in any position to go aggressive. And we are going to be getting right into our final game on Hello, Mr. DauT. Just kidding, it's Hideout.
Okay.
What?
Sorry, no, I just had to deal with that for a second. We're fine.
Oh boy, it's the best matchup ever.
Hold on, I don't see what the best matchup is yet.
Oh, it's one that everyone loves to watch.
Oh, okay. Hey, I love this matchup.
What?
I love this matchup.
It's like the most boring matchup ever.
What are you talking about? How many Persian mirror matchups have you seen? The most boring matchup ever.
No, Persian mirror is all about booming. It's the best matchup ever.
Yeah, it's great. All those 2-hour-long Persian games we've seen, so exciting. So earlier today, I slept 11 hours last night. I woke up at 3 p.m. local time, and I looked at my phone to see like where the games were at, because I knew I needed to cast this set. Saw the game was, I think, at 1 hour and 10 minutes, and I was like, I'm going to shower, I'm going to get ready, I'm going to show up at the apartment, and they're still going to be in game. And I walked in here, and I think Yo and LaaaaaN were fighting over 4 trees.
Yeah, I think he walked in at like an hour and 40 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Like there was still some time left before the game even ended.
Whew, man,
Like,
it was brutal.
yeah, that was pretty brutal. But here we are in game number 5 in this set, and the very mushroom-shaped wood in the middle of the map. I always describe Hideout as inverted arena with palisade walls.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, so if it was a civ against Mayans, oftentimes you'd see people try and get the Mayan players away from plumes. So sometimes you'd see Celts as a counter pick, Spanish as a counter pick. Slavs, yeah, like man-at-arms and towers to push through the palisades and deny the stones. In a Mayans mirror matchup, I high doubt that we are going to see a forward. I feel as though this might just be straight fast castle territory. What are your thoughts?
Fast castle plumes.
Yeah.
I mean, before the nerf, there's like that was the strategy that Mayans would do like 100% of the time if they could get away with it.
Yeah.
Now we definitely see a lot more variety in terms of, okay, do you want to go for crossbows, eagles, or still go for that fast castle plumes?
Yeah.
But given the fact that you are walled, I mean, they're only palisade walls, but considering that both players are incentivized to go to that fast castle plume play, I think that's exactly what we'll be seeing as TaToH. Amazing Ibex pushing.
Yeah, TaToH's pushing in his Ibex or deer now. I think if there's any player who's going to go fast castle crossbow instead of fast castle plumes, it would be TaToH. I think there's some logic in going for fast castle crossbows because you hit early, and on Hideout there are exposed resources, as you see there. TaToH has some stones forward. And also I think you really have to boom here. So if you're building the castle, it can delay your boom. It's very possible, and we'll go to Vilese's point of view now. He's also blue, but he has the blocks.
It's not hard to tell who's whom.
Yeah, but anyway, so I feel as though maybe plumes isn't the way to go here. Maybe crossbow into boom into plumes and imp.
I think you should still probably go plumes because plumes clap crossbows. Like, they're such a good counter-archer unit. And I don't actually think you need to boom, per se. I think you can go fast imp and then go trebs.
Sure, so just to play devil's advocate, because this is all we can do, we don't disagree with each other, really. We're just trying to talk about things.
Yeah.
The gold position for Villese. Right, he has the 4-tile gold. I mean, if you try and go plumes, and someone arrives to your base 2 minutes before you're in castle age and you build the castle, that's DauT castle territory right there. So I think that's my logic.
2 minutes? Like, do you think you can really get that?
2 minutes before you have any military, yeah. Like if someone goes barracks, archery range, blacksmith versus like blacksmith market and then a castle. The castle takes forever to build. You'd have to build it more passively so it doesn't get denied.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a feeling that TaToH might consider doing what I'm saying. I definitely think Villese is going plumes because plumes is the safe option.
It's the safe, standard, conservative option that is definitely been the name of the game for Villese in general, which interestingly has not been enough in the last 2 games because TaToH's been able to abuse that with either some more aggressive or more greedy play. I think we saw that in games 3 and 4 respectively. But in games 1 and 2, I was obviously way too much for TaToH to handle, and you just kind of got out macroed. But let's see what happens here, because this is, I believe, the first mirror matchup in the series.
Yeah, it is.
So you'd think that would favor the person who has the more solid mechanics.
Yeah, or just the better strategy. Here's a question for you. Do you know if the hideout that they're using always has the water buffaloes, or is it random? I believe it's random.
Yeah, I believe it's random.
Because they're doing, DE. So that's something I've never been a fan of, because you like try and strategize, and then one time you get 100 food per sheep, and then other times you get 150 food per water buffalo, and there's no consistency there. But
same with elephants.
Yeah, but it certainly helps in this situation if they're both going fast castle, because that's a lot of extra food on the water buffaloes.
In addition, of course, mines even have the longer lasting resources, and for every water buffalo, that's going to be even more food that you'll be able to gather.
Oh, thank you, Nili. Sorry. I don't know why that keeps happening. Thanks, DE, but
what?
That's fine. These pop-ups just disappear on me. I think I'm trying to do hotkeys, like, because I'm used to doing hotkeys to go to buildings, and whatever my hotkeys are for buildings that are not on buildings here, it's for other things. Look, Villese is actually making militia, and he's going for man-at-arms. Wow.
We were wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, if anything, maybe fast castle crossbow, but he wants man-at-arms? Really? And man-at-arms forward, so I didn't think mines would do this.
Look at the stone for TaToH.
Yeah.
That is not great stone if you're trying to go fast castle plumes, which is what TaToH's doing.
Has Villese scouted that? Oh, he did scout. He scouted both the stones. All right, so he scouted both the stones. This is the weakness. This is the weakness of Fast Castle. TaToH's gold's also exposed. The only way TaToH can deny this is with a defensive tower, and TaToH will not be in feudal age in time. He'll be off of stone for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. Will this slow down his Fast Castle time? I don't think so. But at a minimum, it's going to make him sweat and not just be able to do exactly what he wants in this game, which is going to be definitely something that Villese is going to be quite happy about. Coming forward, there is an outpost on the way, and the outpost will be able to see that he is indeed being towered.
Yeah, so at least TaToH knows about this.
With the building right next to the palisade wall.
TaToH... Okay, so TaToH has enough stone to build 2 towers now if he needs it. So he's going to wall behind just to delay a little bit. Once the tower's up, he'll need to bail. There he goes. So I'm thinking he will immediately tower that gold in the north, and then maybe save stone for a tower within his base if Villese, or when Villese inevitably breaks through.
Yeah, that is the exact flow chart of tower construction that I would follow as well in this scenario.
Yeah.
Tower will help out the men-at-arms tear down that half-built palisade wall. And actually, TaToH might need to build the one in his base a bit more quickly, I guess, because I mean, Villese should be incoming like right now, and indeed he is. So
I don't love that tower. I think I would have built the tower here because it still protects the right side and the north.
Yeah.
But the likelihood that Villese is going to tower the north is pretty slim now because he's walking this direction. Villese also does not have the stone for a tower yet. He is at... Oh, no, he does. I lied. He just got enough, and there's TaToH's defensive tower.
Yep, so Villese... Okay, Villese is going to go off of the tower. He hasn't deleted it yet, but he likely will. He's going to force this tower out of TaToH, and then because he knows his opponent is off of stone, he knows that, okay, you can't really delete the tower and just build another one, so now Villese is going to try and find another angle to build a tower that is going to likely be able to deny these farms.
Yeah, and this is why TaToH built his tower on the right. I feel like once Villese sees this, Villese will break out and try and tower the north of it, though.
Yeah. I was actually going to say when we saw that he's building the tower there because Villese could have pushed like directly through TaToH's base.
Yeah.
And that is kind of what he's doing, but this is of course going to be a very good tower, assuming it's not in range of the town center. I don't think it is.
No, it's not. This is good because if he walked the whole way around, it'd take forever. He needs to do early damage because TaToH's on the way to Castle Age. But now I see TaToH scouting around with his eagle here to maybe find some extra stones. I really wonder what TaToH will do in the next stage.
He's sending 2 villagers forward, T90. They're going all the way around town.
Is he gonna sneak Villese's stone? Take that, or is he gonna go for a Mangonel push? Like you don't see that frequently with Mayans. Normally it's all plumes, right? But plumes or eagles. But maybe a Mangonel push would make a lot of sense for TaToH.
Well, I remember a game that Viper played on this map, I think in one of the show matches for NAC, where he went with, like, he was getting towered, and he just went for TC that was, like, super hidden because he would never scout it on this map.
I think he was Khmer, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I think this is, with the amount he has on golds, and the fact he doesn't even have the stone for a second TC, I very much think that this is going to be Mangonels. Whoa! And Villese is beginning to stonewall here. So this is a thing on Hideout we didn't mention. If you get the map control like Villese, just stonewall. Yeah, look, stonewall the chokes.
Just like Oasis.
And then your opponent can never counter you, but shh.
Crouching Tiger, hidden villager.
TaToH sneak. Oh, he's even going around there? That's crazy.
Did he see the Stonewall foundations? Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did. Wow, sneaky. And it's going to be even worse for Villese because Villese expects to be safe if he gets the walls up.
Yeah, well, maybe he'll see by the time he sends his villager around, but yeah, this is certainly the sneaky play when everything is on the line. Literally, it's potentially TaToH's tournament life on the line, and it is indeed the forward siege workshop as well as a forward barracks, so it's going to be likely Eagles plus Mangonels.
Oh my goodness. Now, Villese, as far as he thinks, he is in a great position. All he wants to do is go up to the next stage, build a castle, and go plumes. He doesn't want a forward castle, at least I don't think so. He probably just wants a castle at home, play safe, and he feels like he has excellent map control.
Oh, is he going to see it? I think, like I said, T90, when the villager goes around, he's going to see it.
All right, she spotted it. How do you react to it, though? That's my question.
Instantly start making towers at home. Mangonels will eventually take down towers, but it's all you got.
It's all exactly. It's a response. Is it a great response? No. props to TaToH for doing this.
And
yeah,
props to
there are
Villese
the
for scouting it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was more so a fortunate thing. If TaToH walked 10 tiles more to the right, it would have never been spotted.
But he should have known that based on the
so.
tree line. But still, Mayan's half-cost stone wall is going to be able to get up the good old contingency walls. All the golds are in a very risky position if you're Villese, so that's why he's building the tower by his gold right there. And he has just now clicked up to the Castle Age, but it must be said, TaToH is up to a second town center, just buying 100 stone.
So TaToH, he's not going to go all-in aggression here. He's going to use this time to gain an eco lead. I love the second TC position. I think that this should mean Villese goes Eagles. I think Villese will probably build a second barracks and go Eagle. It's a bit interesting, right? Because TaToH is already faster to Castle Age. He'll probably gain an eco lead with the extra TC. And now I feel like Villese needs to invest even more into fighting than TaToH is going to need to do.
Well, yeah, he's going to need to get some Eagle Warriors and try and snipe the Mangonels, but TaToH already has his own Eagle Warriors out right now. And what I don't like about the Eagle plan for Villese, even though that is what he's doing, you're in a situation where you're doing the exact same thing as your opponent, but worse and slower.
Yeah, it's just TaToH's strategy choice was so good. He has to do it. He has to. There's no other option. There's no archers. You can't wait for plumes. Those villagers were blocking each other. They're on the move. This is danger territory, man.
It's the danger zone.
This is the danger zone. And again, TaToH's playing so good that I think Villese is doing everything right, and he's just destined to be behind.
Yeah, like a Mayan mirror is not one where you see a ton of strategic variance. Not normally. It usually comes down to mechanics.
Not normally.
But in this scenario with TaToH in the mix and the map as well, he's making this work. You gotta repair that TC, my man.
With more than one villager.
Yeah, I think he's fine. Yeah,
he's gonna make it to Castle Age, but the TC might go down when he's in Castle Age. Will he make it to Castle Age?
No,
he will make it to Castle Age. What am I talking about? I looked at for a small moment there, I looked at the HP and I thought that was the progress to the next stage. It's like he's getting further away.
He's under attack.
Whoa, long swords? Or he's brought the Man-at-Arms back, all right.
Yeah, it's just the Man-at-Arms. Quick balls coming in here from TaToH, trying to protect his Mangonels.
Scorpions, though.
Oh, that's definitely a sick transition. You don't need more than 3 Mangonels.
Oh, man. Villese doesn't have the wood to repair his TC. He doesn't have the wood for a Mango.
Deleting the blacksmith right there is Villese.
That's not a good sign.
That is never a good sign. He was able to squeeze in forging and the Eagle Warrior upgrade, so that's something. But look at this. The Eagles and the Swordsmen are starting to make their way in.
TaToH gets one big hit with the Mangoes. He has 4 Mangoes here. He cannot lose these. He also killed one of his own Scorpions. Maybe if Villese can take out the Mangonels, he has a chance.
And he saved his town center, remember?
Yeah, he saved his town center. It's just 1 Mangonel to deal with now. You know, Villese might be okay. Keep in mind that he's still taking some stone, and that was a lot of investment from TaToH.
That was a ton of investment from TaToH, and he doesn't really have much of a follow-up game plan. He has nothing at home with which to defend himself. Everything he is doing is forward right now. Second barracks on the way for him, but he's facing triple barracks production. The problem right now for Villese is he doesn't have any gold income as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, and it's still going to be a lot for Villese, I think, to expand his economy. Still no second TC, so TaToH's at 45 fills, Villese is at 38. I like TaToH's position still. I thought Villese was going to die there. I thought he was dead.
Yeah, he's 7 villagers ahead is Mr. TaToH, and that is not really a great sign, especially because I feel like Villese doesn't have much of a follow-up. Okay, it looks like he has 100 stone right now. Is he going to build a second TC of his own? But you're just playing catch-up at that point.
Yeah, I think he wants something sneaky here. I think he sent these 3 Eagles around. I think he wants to take out that Vill. Or maybe the Scorpion. Oh, this is a nice move. This is a nice move from Villese. TaToH was not expecting this. The villager spotted. Will the villager go down? The villager will likely go down. Meanwhile, TaToH is pushing the TC again, though.
TaToH is pushing the TC, but only with a single Mangonel, so it's much more feasible to repair it.
Yeah.
And now this is going to be something that's going to be quite comfortable for Villese, knowing that he will always have better production than his opponent, because he has 3 barracks to 2. The problem is still, again, that gold income, which is still quite 0.
Yeah, it's kind of complicated for Villese to engage this with 3 Scorpions, but the Mango can change everything! And TaToH micros! The villager, the farmer blocks!
Oh, the micro back! And I think you can send an Eagle at that point to snipe.
That's quality micro. No, I don't know.
With the Scorpions there, it does make things complicated.
Yeah, and I don't think TaToH can dive in either because no upgrades on the Eagles, so the TC would be just fine there. I really feel like Villese if he wants to come back in this game, being behind an eco, he needs to put a stop to this now.
Yeah, he is getting back onto gold right now, so that's going to be at least something. Some eagles coming in for the snipe.
Oh, he snipes it. Villese will snipe it. He snipes it. Now he has his own mango.
And his eagles do have an extra upgrade.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Hold on a second. TaToHs are now upgraded to Eagle Warrior, and they have armor, and suddenly, now TaToH could snipe the mango. He still has the Scorpions in here, too. TaToH will take care of that mango, which means he will protect that economy lead. It's 51 villagers for him and 43 for Villese.
I think this is a complete disaster right now for Villese, because he's consistently selling stone to be able to afford more Eagle Warrior production.
Yeah.
But what that's doing is making sure that he's never getting up to another town center. He's never getting to like a castle drop, because like dropping a castle on your opponent's town center would be like an amazing way to come back in this game. But he's just not able to do that. And now TaToH's getting his own barracks and siege workshop at home to defend himself.
Yeah, I'm really surprised Villese wasn't taking this gold. He could have been taking this gold. Yes, it's in harm's way.
Or just go to the other one sooner, because your opponent's not going to go all the way around.
Yeah, I mean, he does have this gold out here for now, but I don't know. The fact that he's been selling the stone really makes me worried for him. And I was waiting for there to be a time where Villese, since he was investing everything into this defense, would win in defense, but he's not doing that. TaToH's still extending that economy lead to 56 to 44. Again, I'll say Villese needs to clean this up, and he needs to be very careful with these villagers now, because TaToH's going to take care of that next.
I think we're now reaching the point where Villese is doing the exact same thing as opponent, but worse.
Yeah.
and unless he does something drastically different, he will 100% lose this game. And
well, there's one unit that can change those fights, and I think it's Maganels. Good attack rounds with Maganels can change up what's happening with the Eagles. Maybe a cheeky counter. Maybe he could send some Eagles to TaToH's base.
But look how well defended TaToH is.
Yeah.
He's already got the ram coming. He's got a barracks ready for Eagle Warriors, and has the 3 town centers. And of course, if Villese sends all the Eagles around, then he has nothing to defend himself at home, and then TaToH would just run in.
See the mangoes. Villese very close now. A little doink, and he snipes it. Beautiful.
That's a very nice move for Villese, but he's going to need a lot more like it, because he's down 17 villagers. He's still down in military.
And to lose these 4, most likely, once Eagles come over here, and they won't be on that stone for much longer.
Yeah, Villese is like trying to wall on the other side, and I guess he will be completely walled at that point. But
yeah,
like again, this is a bunch of ways that he's trying to, not lose this game, as opposed to do something to actually win the game, if that makes sense.
Oh man, like I'm so hyped for TaToH. It's so awesome. Oh boy. TaToH realizes, where is he taking gold? Oh, I found where he's taking gold. This could be it. This could be it. I mean, it really should be it. 69 villagers, which is nice for TaToH. Versus 45 Villese. Oh man, I feel really bad for Villese, man. He was up 2 games to 0. What is with these secret players, man? Against the qualifiers.
Secret players are just the DauTiest of all players.
Breaking hearts, man. That hurts. Obviously, all the villagers didn't die, but you'll see these villagers get taken out now. It's inevitable.
Like, there is no aspect in this game in which Villese is ahead. And there's no real way he can get ahead, because it's a mirror matchup.
I'm surprised to see... Okay, Villese is building a castle. I'm really surprised to see TaToH send all of his Eagles.
Yeah.
This direction, because he saw 2 Eagles from Villese. Maybe he thought Villese had a base out here. I guess the Villes survive for now, but I was expecting him to send like 5, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, big attack round, maybe? Oh, big shot, but still the eco difference is huge.
Yeah, and the upgrade difference, I believe, is also huge. Yeah, it's +1 versus +2/+1, rather. And, like, what is Villese's way to come back in this game?
He needs to... Okay, so there was one time where TaToH tried to mass delete his palisade walls, and he also deleted his army by mistake. We've all made that mistake, I hope, because I did it. Okay, I did. And it's very embarrassing when it happens. I think that's what Villese needs to hope for.
Yeah, that's not something you want to put your hope in.
Is that not a strategy?
No, not.
You don't put like you don't make the shift key a little bit stickier on your opponent's keyboard before the game.
No.
You don't do that, really?
No, not normally. Because I rely on my skills to win, which is why I have a horrible win rate.
That's great. Oh, a siege tower from TaToH. Let's go.
TaToH is a guy who's known for his clever moves and stylish plays, and this is exactly
there's no
that.
TCs back here either. This is not a misclick. This is intentional from TaToH. TaToH, and he will say, "Oh, you got walls? Well, that's great. Say hello to my Eagles." Wow,
Oh.
that is some thanks to E stutter.
Rip. Yeah.
Well, I mean, fortunately for him, he's actually ahead, right? So that's not going to hurt him. It really feels like everything slowed down there for a second.
Are you sure that's not just the game slowing down?
It was probably that as well.
But Villese is making
fine.
a bit of a counterattack happen. TaToH had some very, very exposed stone miners, but he's head by like 35 villagers, so like if Villese was completely defending this at home, I'd say, okay, maybe, but no, that's not happening.
Yeah, he's going to make plumes, right? So maybe plumes, but there's also mangonels out here, and you need to mass plumes out of one building. It's just that single castle.
Yeah.
So it's kind of unlikely. It's very much unlikely that it will do it. But man, I love to see it and I hate to see it. I'm so torn. I don't care who the player is. If there's a big comeback like this, I'm hyped for the player who's performed the comeback. It's legendary, but I always feel bad for the person who lost, because I know how I'd feel in this position. You know,
the freaking tournament's forcing us to have winners and losers. It's so annoying. Why can't everyone be a winner?
Yeah, I mean...
Why can't this be like
kindergarten? I feel like DauT's back there like, yeah!
I mean, we already have all of the gold stars that you're always awarded for researching the next stage, so that's like kindergarten. Why can't we all be winners like kindergarten?
And Villese, there's just too much for him to focus on now.
Yeah.
Too much for him to focus on.
TaToH's at double the Vill count.
Yeah. 60 pop. His pop has not gone up despite the castle and the plumes. And, oh, just so sad. I know that the TaToH Doritos are all excited.
Definitely.
They're ready to see TaToH perform in the next stage of this tournament. But if Villese loses this game, he will not move on to the final stages of Nili's Apartment Cup 3. It's only getting worse.
You can't really make a comeback in this scenario, unfortunately. Yeah. You can try Eagle Warriors to come in for a big snipe play, and okay, you get the mangonels, so what? I mean, TaToH's not like super close to Imperial Age, but like we have to make so much of a stretch to think of any scenario.
Well, TaToH
where
has 38 farmers, which I think is the key here. 38 farmers versus 8.
Yeah, that's
38 versus 8.
I don't know math, but that's a 30 difference.
Yeah. So, you know, that means that he will eventually near Imp, and it doesn't have to be Eagles for TaToH because he's going to free up this stone, but most likely will be Eagles because he has such a commanding lead. And choo-choo, another siege tower.
Just use it to protect the Eagles from the arrow fire.
Yeah, exactly. Just passing. Just go right in.
Hello.
Imagine losing game 5 to a siege tower. Ugh.
That's a pretty feels bad man moment.
How did the arrows get in the siege tower, by the way? I haven't seen any plumes fire on it. You want to explain that?
You can't explain that.
Yeah.
But it does look cool. I did notice that.
I do like it, yeah. I'm just being dumb.
Yeah, I know. I know,
hey,
Tino.
You're supposed to say, you're not supposed to say I know. You're supposed to say you're not dumb, T90, all the time. All right, GG. Oh, God, man.
That feels so good and so bad at the same time.
What a bittersweet moment. TaToH wins 3-2 after being down 2 games. How sick were the 2 forward villagers? That was so sick because I think Villese's game plan was solid.
Yeah, it was.
But
like he recognized the forward stone and then I think responded almost perfectly to it. It's just he wasn't able to stop the other villagers from making the forward buildings.
What a result, man. I thought Villese was going to win. Game 1 and 2 were so clinical, such a good game plan. 82 kills for TaToH, 58 units lost, and as OrnLu and I were saying, for the last 20 minutes, the eco difference was too huge. Where food, wood, and gold collected from TaToH pretty much confirms that he will be through at this point, I believe, right? I mean, there's no chance that he's not.
3 and 2 puts you into the bracket stage no matter what, and that's exactly what TaToH is right now.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't think Villese should be disappointed with his performance in this tournament.
Exactly. And I know that the age community has grown a lot in the last year. There might be a lot of viewers who are new right now. And I think Villese probably gained a lot of respect and possibly fans with his performance there against a player like TaToH. Same could be said for LaaaaaN also, who performed very well in earlier stages of this event. I see there's new people in the chat as well, which is awesome to see. I believe the plan now is to send it over to Nili. It is his apartment after all. I believe Nili will be interviewing the winner, or he's...
Yeah.
Oh, I'll do it. Do you want to do it?
You can go for it if you want to do it.
We're going to send it over to me. in Nili's apartment, and I will interview TaToH next.
Yeah. Should be a good one. I will do the traditional time killing while they get set up. Hope you guys enjoyed that series. That one was a lot of fun. Hello. Ask about Bracer? Oh yeah, that'd be a fun one. That was a fantastic series, guys. Yeah, Liereyy DauT is next. Bracer, Bracer! Wow, they're fast. They're almost gonna be set up in just a second.
Ready?
Looks like we'll be throwing it over to T90.
Go.
All right, so we are here with TaToH, who came back from being 2 games down to win 3-2. TaToH, you had me sweating there, man.
I was as well.
How was that series? How exhausting was that series?
It was really tough from the start because Villese is super strong, and I knew that it was not going to be easy. So yeah, from the start, like I was not overconfident or anything like that.
Yeah. So game 1 was Arabia. This is bad. I actually forget what was Arabia again.
Britons war.
Oh yeah, Britons were, of course. So
Eat the mic. Eat the mic.
Eat the mic. Do you? I'm supposed to eat this. Okay. So game 1 was Arabia. You both went for Britons. We've been seeing a lot more Britons. Why Britons? Why is Britons more common right now?
I think it has to be like is easier to micro as well.
Yeah.
With range unit, so makes Britons or civilization with the strong arches a bit more powerful, in my opinion.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how good was his map and how bad was your map in that game?
I didn't expect him to be that good, but yeah, it was really good. And
Yeah.
I mean, if I play the same, I will be struggling so much.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you had your base was open. You tried to go forward there. Do you think you could have possibly towered somewhere else? I thought that maybe your first tower did not deny any stones. What are you doing in here?
Such a beast.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Like the problem there was my scouting.
Yeah.
Because I was missing 2 ship, and with Britain is really important. So
okay.
I had to push 2 deers, and then I lost too much time scouting on my base instead of scouting his base. So I didn't know exactly how good was his map. I knew that he was wall, so I was expecting Drass FC.
Yeah.
Because he wall, but then he reacts quite decent, and instead of going for Drass FC, that it could have been a bit more risky because I was going forward.
Yeah.
He decides to go for the sneak, and that was really good.
That was a good play. Yeah, I think that. Do you think he would have been near as successful or near as better or near as good, I guess, without a sneak? Do you think if he made the ranges at home, he still would have been way ahead, or hard to say?
Yeah, I guess it will take more time for him to get to my base. So he will have gave more time to me as well.
All right. Well, game 2, I was expecting Italians from you, TaToH. You decided to switch it up and go Vikings. Tell us about that.
I didn't want to play the same night yesterday, so because I was pretty sure that he will have prepared something against that.
Yeah, okay.
And then I decided to go for Vikings, expecting him to pick Vikings as well.
Yeah.
But then he used my strategy against me, so it wasn't too good.
Yeah, I guess your strategy is pretty damn good then, huh?
Against Viking, it is, yeah.
Yeah, so did you expect him to go fires in Castle Lanes? Because you both went for FC, kind of, and he surprised you with galleys. Were you expecting that, or did you think fires?
I was thinking fires, but I will not. I mean, it will make sense to go for galleys. I mean, fires. I was expecting fires, that will be a mistake from him.
Yeah.
But then he went for galleys. It was the right choice, and yeah, it was really. I don't know how economy. I guess he was ahead in economy the whole time.
He went. So you went Fast University Ballistics. He went second TC and then later Ballistics. And you were like pretty much 50-50, really close fighting. So it was better for him with economy.
Yeah, I agree. I think the main problem, like the fact that he denied my first dog was really bad because then I had like 100 wood lost there.
Yeah.
And I would have spent on more lombos. Also, my goal there was on range of the galleys. And I lost
he was hitting that. Yep.
Without realizing, and then basically like I didn't have the numbers, and I wanted to like get the map control early.
Yeah.
So then I could get into like late in Castle Edge with more castles and at least map control because I knew that he was going to be Imperial faster.
Do you see what they're saying?
I have Bracer.
You didn't have Bracer.
I'm sure. I thought I had
Obviously, I'm going to ask that question. There's no faith in the interviewing team here.
Now it makes sense why I was training so well.
Yeah.
I thought I got it.
No, you
Like,
didn't
God
have it,
damn it,
man.
man.
You also didn't have careening, but bracers.
I need careening.
Yeah. You got it later on. Yeah, I think it definitely got to the point where you expected that you had it. I knew you were never going to research it because you would never go to your blacksmith again. So you probably clicked it and didn't have the resources, right?
It will be, that makes sense that I was trying like super bad and I didn't realize why.
Yeah. If it makes you feel better, I think you still would have lost with Bracer.
Yeah,
because he was pretty far ahead.
Yeah, I agree.
He played so damn good in that game. It was near perfect, man.
Yeah.
It was incredible. So then game 3 comes up. You know that you still have a good chance if you lose the best of 5, but you do not want to lose the best of 5, right? And game 3 was on your next home map, which was yes. You chose Saracens. I think everyone expected you to go for that scout play that you've been going for so frequently. You've killed so many players in rated games, like Villese Hera, all over. And you went for the classic Saracens, right? You used to do this all the time.
Yes, because the problem, on that map is quite easy to wall. So scouts can be, like, depending on the timing, it can be a disaster.
Okay.
Because if you are late, then your scouts are usually stuck there.
Okay.
So I didn't want to risk that match with that. And I saw that they had a decent map to go Draft FC, so I decided to go for that.
Okay. Now, I have a few questions that might be oddly specific for most people, but when you built the barracks, was that like intentional barracks time, or when you ended up building that barracks, he was scouting you then? So I wasn't sure if like maybe that timing was to make him think that you'd be going fast up for the market, or was it just for the drush?
No, it was
just for the drush. Okay.
Yeah.
And then here's a question. Do you think if he would have gone Men-at-Arms Towers against you, that you would have still defended? Because you had 2 on stone, your feudal time was perfect. I felt like you would defend.
Yeah, I think actually I wanted him to do that.
Yeah.
Because I had the mining camp with stone, like was really close to
exactly,
the wall as well. So if he went forward, I think it would have been way easier game for me as well.
Yeah, the way I saw that was perfect. I didn't see any way he could really stop you, because if he towers, you defensive tower. If he doesn't tower, you sell the stone and go up to Castle Age. It was a masterpiece. All right, and then game 4. I mean, at this point, you're feeling sharp, I'm sure. Tell us a little bit about game 4.
About game 4, I was expecting, I was going to pick Mayans.
Yeah.
But then I said maybe he, on Golden Pit, the goal is not that important, so Mayans becomes stronger on. So it's easier to beat Mayans on Golden Pit than on Hideout.
Yes. Okay.
So I decided to go for Byzantine because Byzantine is kind of counter any, he had Vikings as well left.
Yes, he
so
could
I was
have
scared
gone
about
Vikings.
Vikings and Mayans, so I decided Byzantine with the skimmers that I can kind of counter both. And so I decided to go for Byzantines because as well for the fast Imperial time, they have over cannons. So
Yes.
Well, it's quite decent. Cheaper skimmers as well. Yeah, and I work out.
Do you think, that was another game that was very close. Do you think there was possibly any misplays there from him?
I didn't expect him to go forward Siege Workshop. When I saw the first Mangon, I was so happy.
Yeah, okay. Wait, so you were just happy that he went Siege Workshop because you were booming, right? Is that what you... Yeah.
And also because I had my Siege Workshop already.
Yeah, exactly.
I built the Siege Workshop to defend against his archers because I didn't want to invest. My build order there was a bit messed because I thought I was doing a house and then I was doing a mill and then I was house.
Yeah.
And I went up too fast.
Yeah.
So
also,
it ended up being a bit...
He didn't pressure a side where you had resources. I felt like that other side had a wood line and a gold, and he never went over there.
I think that was probably as well one mistake by him. Because he tried to break there instead of trying to move around and search for a weaker spot. And I had both stones and 2 golds more or less together. Yeah. So if he sits there with Seat, in that case, I will probably struggle way more.
Yeah. For me, I felt like his Siege Workshop, so he went he went Fast Castle Crossbow. His Siege Workshop, you scouted, was actually at his base. He was even further away. If he went forward Siege Workshop, maybe it's better for him, right? Mm-hmm. But it was defensive, which also took him a lot of time to reinforce, I think.
That's a bit more weird. Why he will go for that?
I don't know.
To be fair, I guess...
I think he might have expected Skirm.
He might have expected... not the skimmer. I think he was expecting some sneak or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Because he didn't see my base. So when I completely wall, he didn't see what I had.
Yeah, that's true. You never really know.
So I guess it's where it was more mind games. Than
you already psyched him out with the Saracens. He thought you were going scout, so he's like, oh, what is TaToH doing this game? All right, and then final game, Mayans War. I talked through a couple scenarios. I said, Fast Castle Plumes, Man-at-Arms Towers, which is a counter to Fast Castle Plumes. Or I actually said it might be an interesting idea to go Fast Castle Crossbow and try and hit before the castle goes up. You went Fast Castle Plumes, or were trying to, and then he went forward and denied both your stones. At that point, you started sneaking a villager. Is that something you would do every time in that scenario, or did you just feel like that was what was needed there?
Like on this hideout, there is only 2 goals.
Yeah.
And I scout both of his goals.
Yeah.
So he was controlling my stones, and I was controlling I wanted
His
to control
goals,
his
yeah.
goals. So I didn't have a stone, so plums were not a choice.
Yeah.
I was too late for crossbow, so the only choice was siege forward and eagles to buy me time and keep moving at the same time, and then get the equal it.
Yeah, that was sick.
And eventually recover my stone, but finally
At that point, you were pretty far ahead, yeah. Yeah, he invested so much. I think it was good momentum for you. You got a few Mangonels. He had to invest everything into just stopping that one push while you were booming. So how are you feeling, man? You had a nice comeback. Yeah. Just like DauT, right? DauT came in here. DauT's over here setting up for the next set, and he said, "What a beast!" So.
You use my gear.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, you used DauT's gear?
No, the headphones.
The headphones. Yeah. Okay. So TaToH used DauT's headphones. So apparently his headphones have all the power.
Yeah.
We'll also be auctioning off those headphones for. Right? They have the power, right? I don't know. But congratulations, man.
Thank you.
That's pretty much all I have to say. I'll get one question from chat here, and then we will move along to the next set. And the next cast. You're going to cast, aren't you?
I'm casting with Dave now.
Wow. You're
My
stealing
first
Dave
and
from me,
unique
man.
cast. Yeah. Well, you need to share, man.
Well, Viper's a top 20 caster. You going to be top 20 too?
Yeah. 20,
I'm pretty sure that makes you a top 20 caster, just a few casts. So awesome.
Slightly better than Viper, probably.
So
I guess
I will get one question from chat if that's okay. I've already committed